LBC 97.3.
Affirmative.
0870 9090 973.
Nick Abbott.
Right, so what we doing?
It was always a pleasure driving along, minding my own affairs. Da-da-da-da-da. And I turned on the radio and there was Carol. Hello.
Did she not tell you when she's going to be on?
No.
Oh.
She did make me laugh. Well, you've got to have a laugh, haven't you?
That's the way forward, isn't it?
Banging on about wind farms, she was. Oi, Carol, you are a wind farm.
What does that mean?
She could power a small town.
Yeah, couldn't she?
What?
That was very, very rude. I can't believe you were that unpleasant.
That was unnecessarily nasty.
Hey! Here, I am not Ian Lee.
Oh, no.
Where's he gone now?
Kent.
Kent?
Yes.
Oh, yes, what's he doing in Kent?
I don't know, but he really likes
Here
it
we
there.
go. You don't know, it's the Garden of England.
Yes.
Where's Kent again, Christian?
It's like, you just gotta go east.
Yeah, he's thinking... East, yeah. More or less, that's right. Except for the part where it's wrong.
No, it is.
Well, it's east-ish, yes.
Well, look, that's quite accurate then, isn't it?
Well, no, it isn't. I mean, if you went east, you'd never touch Kent.
Wouldn't you?
I don't believe you would, no. I went to Kent just the other day. I went to Leeds Castle, which confusingly is in Kent. It was named after the surrounding Leeds. Do you know what they are? Oh, I'm sorry, we're fresh out of time. By the way, Carol said that she's going to be on the Millionaire Show on Tuesday. And she made a big point of saying that the person that's going to be following her is Jeremy Vine.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy Vine?
He's,
Jeremy Vile. He's, what does he do?
He's like a news person.
Yeah, he's like a news person. Yeah, that's completely accurate. Yes, he's like a news person.
Yes.
And she made this big thing about, oh, now, you got to watch it after me. Watch the whole show in context. Because she was on with someone who I've never heard of, who's also a celebrity, and I'm waggling my fingers in the air to denote inverted commas. But the fact that she insisted that I watch the entire thing and to watch Jeremy Vine's performance after her implies
Yes.
that she did better than the giant BBC brain.
Did she say how much she's won then?
No, well, I told her not to, because I hate knowing what's happened before it happens.
Yeah.
Which is why, you know, during cinema, adverts for movies and so on, I always got my fingers in my ears and going, la 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 la.
Do you do that at the movies?
Yeah, I do. And I actually
On your
do
own?
that. Well, I don't go to many films on my own.
Okay.
I usually take,
Some popcorn.
security.
But in the trailers, they don't give away the actual ending,
They
do they?
do. They show exactly what's going. I've seen film trailers that show the actual end of the film.
Really?
And so you're waiting for this event to happen all the way through the film, and the longer it goes on, the more you think they've actually shown me what happens at the very end.
But the thing is, you don't know that until
Until the very end comes around.
But
yeah.
the thing is,
and there it is spoilt for you.
during the trailers, I don't have a clue what's going on, because they just,
Well,
it's just
that surprises no one, frankly.
random clip after random clip, and, it just doesn't make
Oh.
sense.
Sorry about that. Carry on.
Was the show that bad that we had to start again?
No.
All right.
No, they do. They just do that because they want to make you very excited to go and see the film. So they show you all the best stunts. Assuming it's not a chick flick, it's full of explosions and car chases. They'll show you all the best, where all the money's been spent. They'll show you the best joke, and then they'll show you how the hero wins in the end.
Oh, I just don't get them. It's just too random. It's just like they just flash up, and they don't, go together or anything like that.
It's the story in miniature.
Yeah.
It is. It always is.
I find myself actually, when I see trails now, and there's a bit that interests me, when I go to see the film, I'm waiting the whole time
Yeah.
for that. I'm going, oh, when's that bit coming up? I saw it on the
Exactly.
trail."
That's
Sounds
exactly what I
exciting.
just said. Are you listening to this show?
Yeah, I'm just confirming a point.
Hey, you've been off for a very long time.
I know.
Now, I'm not aware whether you have or you haven't. Did you explain where you've been? Have you been through all this with Ian?
Not really. He didn't really
right.
ask.
Didn't he? No. Do you two even like each other? Do you communicate in any way off the show? Because you're very good together on it. Off it, you barely exchange a word. Because neither of you have got the faintest idea what the other is doing.
Well, we're not very good communicators.
Or could care less. Yeah, well, in this business you don't have to be, do you?
No.
So, you were away for about 3 weeks, weren't you? Which is unheard of in radio.
Well, it's because I made a mistake, really, with my leave. And that I kind of didn't realise how much I had, and left it all to the, to the end.
Right.
And so an email went round saying, "Ooh, look, if you don't use your leave by this date, you're going to lose it."
Right.
So I checked. I had 3 weeks.
And they let you take all 3 weeks off in one go?
Yeah.
And so what did you do? Now, let me guess. You probably went yomping up a hill, trekking into the Far East, maybe helping out in Afghanistan, something like that, perhaps, yes?
Now, most of the time I just stayed at home in my flat. But I did manage a little break to Greece.
Oh, Greece, that sounds lovely.
Boring.
Oh.
Didn't Ian go to Greece?
Yeah, he did.
Right.
But we went to different parts.
Right.
I went to an island.
Yes, which one?
The island of Corfu.
Corfu, what a scorcher.
Yeah, it was, actually.
And how was it for you?
It was relaxing. I didn't do anything.
Well, you didn't do anything at home, so you thought you'd get on a plane to go and not do something elsewhere. At giant expense.
Yeah.
This is a bit warmer.
Yeah, kind of thing.
And so you were in Corfu. Have I been to Corfu? No, I've been to Cyprus.
Everyone's been to Corfu.
No, I don't believe I have. No, I've been to Cyprus, the other place that begins with C.
Oh, yeah.
So what's to do on Corfu? Not a lot, I would guess. Get drunk, sit on the beach, throw up, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Any crashing, banging, where is it? Slamming action? Huh?
No, because I'm almost 26.
Well, and now you're past all of that.
Yes.
You've left childish things behind.
Yeah, I just...
Speaking of which, hello, Chris.
Yeah, fishing.
What's that?
Yes, what time should I be in? Because I'm on the way.
I haven't told you could go out. Where are you going out? I'm just going out, he says, and slams the door. What was that?
It's our first call of the night.
Oh, yeah, it was the best call so far, as you're wont to say, whatever that means. My dad uses that word a lot, want.
What?
As is his want.
It doesn't,
Won't.
it doesn't even make sense.
Well, not to us now, but it used to when he first heard it in the, early 1700s. They used to speak like that.
Did they?
Yeah, they used to use the word tea, which we don't use now.
They used to have to...
Oh.
They used to have to use a lot more effort to speak back then than you do now.
Yes.
Because you used to have to think more about what you were saying, so you said it in the proper way.
Oh, do shut up.
Oh.
You'd be stuffed, wouldn't you?
I would be, absolutely. Yes.
But now we seem to be almost as though the action of the waves on pebbles. We are rounding our words off. Already we've lost the T on the end of any word. Nobody says the T on the end of any word anymore.
No.
And so our words used to be very precise and clipped. I believe that's what you were trying to say, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing when you hear us, like, abroad now.
It's embarrassing when you're abroad.
Yeah. when I lived in America, and there'd be some British tourists, like, if I was in New York or something, and I'd hear them speaking, and I'd be cringing, because the Americans would have very polite, well-rounded words and crisp...
In New York?
And, well, you know what I mean. The way they talk is often just better sentence construction than us now.
Absolutely, and you can and the clearest indication of that is if something happens on the news. If something happens on the news in America and they point a camera into the blinking face of a passerby, they will be able to describe the action in perfect detail as though they were reading from a script.
Yeah,
in this country, it's like, I don't know really. Like that. But that's after 10 years of education. It's 7:15. Here's Travel Now with Alan Joyce.
Thanks.
I enjoy working with people.
And I use the word enjoy loosely. Here is London Colney. Oh, Mandy. Yeah.
Is that all?
That's it.
No.
I'm afraid so, yes.
Why? I
Well,
was
we're
so
pushed for
nice
time.
to you on Carol's show.
You were nice to me on Carol's show.
Yes.
Really?
She was asking for people to text in for people who are underrated and overrated.
Yeah.
And I texted in that you were underrated. And
Yeah.
she read it out and agreed with me.
Right.
And she said she was really pleased because she'd be seeing you soon, because you were coming in to do the show.
Yeah, we just had a little chit-chat.
Good.
Yes.
I know who she's doing
Pardon?
Millionaire with.
I thought you had some late-breaking news there, because you seemed to stop that sentence about halfway through. I know who she's doing, you said, and then there was a great long gap, and I thought, wow, what's coming next? Who she's doing Millionaire with? Who?
One of the people from Loose Women, another loose woman.
Right. Who's called what?
Oh,
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the TV Times.
Yeah, exactly. No one we've ever heard of.
No, we have heard from her. Hang on. Let me have a look, darling. Can you go to Tuesday?
Who are you talking to?
My next door neighbour's in here.
What's she doing in there?
No, she's not she. Carol McGiffin, Sherry Hewson.
Oh, yeah, Sherry Houston. Who's that?
She's a loose woman.
Right. Well, I suspect that they do very well, because Jeremy Vine is a giant brain, supposedly, isn't he?
He's playing with his son, isn't he?
I've no idea.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope that you're talking about on the show.
Yes. What's wrong with you tonight?
I don't know.
Are you in a smutty mood?
No. What was smutty about that?
Well, you've been smutty since we've been talking, and you cut my song short.
Oh,
Stop whining.
No.
yeah, so I'm quite looking forward to that. So she did better than Jeremy Vine. That was the impression that she gave when she left. Now, I'm sitting in for Ian on Tuesday, right?
Oh,
so,
no.
And the show is on while I'm on. So I'll watch it, and I'll talk you through it.
Oh, you're gonna... Oh! Can't you Sky Plus it, or not the same?
Well, it's, you see, the show
No,
will be
someone
over.
will ring up and talk to you about it.
So we'll answer the questions as we go along with Carol.
Oh, that would be great! You go to, really?
Yeah, why not?
When else are you sitting in for Ian?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Brill!
Fab.
But will you play more of my songs?
No,
Why?
but thanks for asking.
You always play more than that.
Moaning, whining. Gotta go, Mandy.
Is Lucy with you tomorrow?
Lucy. Dunno. Alex, is Lucy with us tomorrow?
I believe so.
Believe so. Right.
Yeah.
Yes is the answer to the question. Lucy will also be here this evening. She'll be taking part in the psychic show, but you knew I was going to say that, didn't you?
Of course I did, because I'm psychic.
Thanks, Mandy.
You take care.
Cheers, my dear. Ta-ta.
Bye, cutie.
Here is that guy calling again?
Yeah.
Well, because he was so great the first time?
Maybe.
Here is, oh. Hi, Louise.
Hi, Nick.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Yeah, great. Thanks
Good.
for asking.
Good. Right. You know the, trails for the films in cinema?
The what?
The trailers for the film?
Trailers, yeah.
Yeah. I agree, they do ruin the film, especially if it's an action one, because they just show all the explosions and everything.
Yeah, they show all of the best bits in order to make, in order to whet your appetite to go and spend £150 on 2 tickets. Yeah.
But it's usually rubbish. I always wait for them to come on box office or something.
Well, you know, TV costs so very much nowadays. If you've got a dish stapled to the outside of your house, I'm of the opinion that I'm never going to go to the cinema again. I just wait till it comes out on satellite or DVD.
That's what's doing the cinema. I don't think it's people downloading stuff. It's people thinking, I can't be bothered to spend that much money there.
Because the cinema is fraught with possible mishap. Like, you might have some dope next to you, or they don't even have to be next to you, within a 15-metre radius of you, who apparently is hungry continuously, and so grazes like a cow on the world's loudest snack, continuously, rustling about with a popcorn.
Oh.
Which smells like old feet.
Yeah. I don't see why people have to bring food into the cinema, because you wouldn't bring, like, lots of popcorn if you were watching.
No, exactly. When would you ever eat popcorn in other circumstances? Would you go into a restaurant and order a bucket of popcorn? Never. And why? Oh, how can you possibly be so hungry that you need to eat continuously throughout the film as well?
It's worse if you get someone behind you that kicks you or insists on having to beat up.
Or are just having a chat throughout the entire film. They just spent half of their monthly income on 2 tickets and a big gulp of cola product, and they obviously have something that's so vital to talk to each other about that they need to have a chat throughout the entire film. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Or if they've seen it before and they say, "Oh, watch this bit." That's annoying.
I saw a film. I saw Batman, the very first Batman, when it came out, and they did a press screening in Leicester Square. And there must have been a large contingent from the American company over here, because a lot of the audience was American kids, and they were screaming and shouting like they were at a football match. They were whooping and yelling, and if we had actually been in America, I'm sure they'd be shooting at the screen.
That's annoying. That is annoying.
But this is why this is one of the reasons I never want to go out, not just to go to the cinema, but just ever at all. People.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
People. Yes, definitely. When I was shopping, I'm sure I was getting followed by this woman. She just kept standing in front of me, and even if I said excuse me, she went.
Maybe she recognised your voice off the radio.
No.
You do call everyone.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
You're my favourite. Honestly. I've been listening to you for years, and
well, like I said, I really love you, Louise.
Thank you.
All right.
Love you.
Cheers, my dear.
Thanks. Bye.
Ta-da. Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, you went to Greece.
Yeah.
So you had a 3-week holiday, and you went to Greece for how long?
Just for 1 week.
Right. And how did that pan out?
It was alright.
Oh, God.
Just
why even bother?
Well, I did my favourite thing, which is just, floating around on a lilo.
The wheezing in the background is Alex, who's having a conniption fit.
I just imagine you floating around with a lilo,
What's wrong with that? It's it's the best feeling in the world. You're just lying there and you're just floating.
Yeah, just floating around
in your flat.
Yeah.
As well.
So you just turn off your mind and you've got nothing in your head at all, and you're just floating around. So it's not really like a holiday at all. It's just business as usual.
What are you saying?
I seem to be being really unpleasantly nasty.
Yeah, it's just all coming out tonight, isn't
I know.
Unlike you.
It is, very much unlike me, yeah. Normally I'm so nice and considerate. Right, I want you to name me 4 Greek trees.
Olive.
Have you ever lived that down, by the way? Did that go around the office? Did I do you any lasting damage?
Yeah.
A little while ago, oh, look on his little face.
What?
A little while ago, we were talking about trees. I can't remember why.
You found some survey, some quiz, didn't you?
Something like that. Oh, and somebody couldn't name a tree, and the best they could come up with was Christmas. And I didn't let that information out, but before asking you to name some trees, and the first thing you said was Christmas. So I stopped the show and I said, we're not continuing until you can name me 4 trees. Did that ever come back to kick you up the bottom?
Yeah, it was public humiliation.
Oh, well, that's what you're there for.
I didn't sign up for that.
Not in your job description.
No.
Quite right too. And I apologise publicly and vociferously, over and over and over again. I am very, very sorry.
Apology accepted.
Here's how sorry I am.
I am very sorry that I screwed up. Totally I mean, I am so sorry. You just don't know how sorry I am. I'm sorry.
Croydon. Hello, Jason.
Hello, how are you?
All right, thanks.
I was reading in the paper today about this new thing called tombstoning.
Yes.
It's quite bizarre and dangerous, isn't it?
Well, the kids love a bit of danger.
Yeah, but not to the effect that you just go and kill yourself within a pond or something, or a canal.
Well, I don't think it's a new thing. I mean, kids have always been leaping off into bridges and so on into water.
Who actually names this stuff, though?
Well, that's the YouTube generation, isn't it? They had to come up with a catchy name for it, tombstoning, because it makes it sound even more dangerous than it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we're running out of morals and all sorts of other things to do. Would you reckon community service or national service? Which are you in favour of?
Flogging. Let's just get straight on with the flogging, shall we?
Well, if they sort of implemented the sort of harsh but
fair,
cruel methods within the Far East and Saudi Arabia, maybe you would eradicate crime.
Well, as long as you don't say anything controversial, that's excellent. Thanks a lot, Jason.
Thank you.
Harsh but cruel, not harsh but fair. Harsh but cruel. Well, maybe he's got something there. I think he was deliberately trying to wind me up.
Yeah.
Get me into a froth and a fury, and I just won't do that because I'm very laid back.
It's just the type of guy you are.
No, it isn't.
Oh.
Like I just said, I'm very laid back. Aren't you listening to this show? Damn it.
Nah.
Anyway, what's happening here is that I am Nick Abbott. I normally do Saturday nights between 10 and 1. I just happened to be passing the building, and Ian wasn't here.
Waiting is pointless.
I just want to tell you all how happy I am to be back in the studio.
Barnstead. Hello, Charlotte.
Barnstead?
Banstead. Banstead.
Yes.
Charlotte.
Have you had your holiday this year? Because everyone else seems to have been on holiday.
I haven't had a holiday for 3 years.
Oh, no.
Mind you, I don't do anything.
Oh, you.
I don't actually do anything, so I don't have anything to take a holiday from. So.
No. Do you know where Alex stayed in America?
Where'd you stay in America, Alex?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, PA.
Yeah.
The city of brotherly love.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, because I've got an aunt that lives in Miami.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting. Please tell us
Yeah.
more.
Well, I'm thinking of going to live over there.
Don't do it.
Pardon?
How would you be able to go and live over there?
Well, she can sponsor. If you've got a relation there that actually lives there, they can sponsor
Really?
you.
I think it has
Yeah.
to be a direct relation.
Well, isn't an aunt a direct... No.
Yeah, well,
It's my-
normally it's like brother or sister
right.
or parent.
You're going to get turned back at the airport, Charlotte.
Am I? Oh.
Mind you, it's worth having a go because the house prices over there have plummeted. You'll be able to pick up a nice
Yeah.
estate right next to Oprah for virtually nothing at all.
Yeah, but it's getting a job over there, isn't it?
Well, there's no end of jobs, Charlotte. All you have to do is go out and get one. Easy.
Oh.
It's like in this country. There's no end of jobs. Just get off your giant wobbly bottom. Go out and get one. That's not you personally, you understand. That's just...
No, I work for the government.
The government. Oh, well, like I said, that's great. Really? What's he like?
No, I work up there, and I can't say anything because I signed the official secret.
Oh, yeah, well, so have I. I have. I've signed it twice, I think.
Have you? I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, I'm serious.
All right. Oh, she told me she could because she was my aunt. So Alex says she can't.
Well,
I'm
she
not
lives
saying
in,
you can't.
She lives in Miami.
Yeah.
Well, she must be, 120 years old. They get very confused living in Miami. I think the heat parboils their brains on a daily basis. They've got no idea. I mean, Miami was the site of the hanging Chad, which, in other words, it was a lot of people who went into a voting booth with the world's simplest way of voting and couldn't figure it out. A lot of them voted for the Nazi candidate. A lot of old Jewish ladies went in there and voted for Hitler's brother.
I mean, have you been to New York? 'Cause I haven't.
Yes, I have, yeah. I've been to New York in 1978, when it was a vibrant, electrically exciting city of danger. And then again, quite a few years later, a radio station that I used to work for, I'm urging to tell you which one it is, but I can't remember right now. They took us over for a weekend to New York. How ridiculous is that? Like, you've barely got over the jet lag, and you've got to get on the plane and come back again. It was in February. It's the coldest place I've ever been to in my life. I had to immediately go out and start buying coats and jumpers and so on. And no amount of clothes that you put on actually made the slightest bit of difference, because the wind just went straight through them.
Did you like it there? Would you live there?
No. What, in New York?
Yes.
No, it's a hideous place.
Oh, is it?
There's no,
Don't listen to him, Charlotte.
New York is a hideous place, and that's an actual fact. It'd be entertaining to go for a holiday there, but if you lived there, I don't know how anyone can do it. There's no green. You've got this thing called Central Park.
Yeah.
But that's just like a traffic island. That's not a park. I was in Hyde Park yesterday. It was a rural delight. If it weren't for Hyde Park Barracks, you'd think that you were in the middle of the countryside. Had a boating lake there, and surrounded by greenery, and through hills and dales, and it was just lovely. There's nothing like that in New York.
No, I work, up in London, and I go down to St James's Park for my lunch sometimes.
Yeah.
That's nice down there.
It's a delight.
Yeah, I mean, London's good. I mean, I like London.
That sounds
that
sounds as though good. That sounds as though a sentence with a qualification.
It's a lovely city.
Lovely, right? That's better.
I mean, like you said, the parks and things.
It's one of the greenest cities. In fact, I think it's probably the greenest city on earth, London. We have more parks than anybody. And I'm sorry, Central Park doesn't count as a park. It's just a big traffic island. If you can see buildings all around, it's not a park. It's just a bit of greenery in between giant, inhuman skyscrapers, and that's true. Even Alex is nodding in agreement.
But when you sorry to interrupt. John Lennon, all these stars like John Lennon, they all live in these apartment blocks, don't they?
Not anymore.
In New York, they don't.
Well, John Lennon doesn't.
No, he doesn't. But I mean, when they seem to, they don't have houses, do they?
Well, there aren't very many houses in New York. I think you have to be a full-on trillionaire to afford a house.
I
with
think,
a garden.
and where's Hamptons? Because Paul McCartney got a house over there. Is it?
Yeah, I don't doubt it. The Hamptons. It's a summer retreat on a spit of land surrounded by sea, as a spit of land would be. Ridiculous thing to say. But they've got, P. Diddy, or whatever he calls himself these days, and the Kennedys. They all have their compounds up there. Yeah, it's only the rich may apply.
Yeah.
But then you could say the same of Manhattan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go, Charlotte. It's not worth it.
Don't get. Well, I like LBC, so.
Well, we are available on the net.
Can you get LBC over there?
Of course you can. Yes.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. So don't let that hold you back. But just don't do it anyway. All right.
No, I've missed LBC.
Of course. Well, listen. Thanks a lot, Charlotte. You keep us updated. All right.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Cheers,
Bye
my dear.
bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Here is Temple Fortune. Hello, Nigel.
Hi, how are you?
All right, thanks.
I've joined the debate late, but just a quickie, I've got a house in the States, have done for a number of years, but of course there are hundreds and hundreds and thousands of houses in New York, which perhaps you don't know about. I mean, Brooklyn's full of houses, Queens is full of houses.
Yeah, when you say New York, you in this country, you're always thinking Manhattan.
Yeah, because but it's not Manhattan. There's 5 boroughs in New York.
Yeah, but as I said, in this country, when someone says New York, you're just thinking Manhattan, aren't you?
Yeah, they think of Times Square and Broadway, and of course Broadway runs for 22 miles as a street, and New York is a very big state. There's New York State and New York City.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, we should as you know, a lot of people seem to forget, but I've had a house in the States for a number of years.
Where is it?
Well, my house now is in Las Vegas.
Right.
And before that it was in California, but I would move tomorrow, and eventually I will go there, because it's just so much cheaper to live in America than it is here.
Well, that's true, yeah. But then you don't get there a lot of the things that you get here. It's much more, even despite what you read in the papers on a daily basis, it is actually more civilized and calm and polite. Well, polite, perhaps not.
It's very different. Interesting enough, I had a friend of mine here from the LAPD recently. We were driving through town, and he couldn't believe the amount of drunks and yobs on the streets.
Yeah, well, it's illegal to drink or show that you're drinking in public in America.
Yeah, because that brown bag law, don't they?
Yeah.
But what I find fascinating about America, of course, is...
Let me just explain before you go on the brown bag law, that you can drink as long as what you're drinking is in a brown bag, so that people can't see that you're actually drinking booze. Now, why that would make a difference, I have no idea.
Yeah, but it's true. But there's a huge difference in sort of culture to the drinking than there is here. Of course, they have bars as opposed to pubs. But what I find fascinating about America is the ability for things to get done. As an example, when they're building roads in Las Vegas in 112 degrees heat at 2 in the morning, they don't tell each other, oh, it's too hot to do this, mate. They just do it.
Well, that's the American way, isn't it? They're a very can-do, let's go people. Well, we're, oh, blimey, is that the time? Fancy a cup of tea?
You know. Put out the flask, mate. Give me a Kit Kat.
Yes. Well, we've always been like that, except in times of war, where we're all knuckled down and pulled together as a team.
The Blitz spirit. But
yes.
I find also that, obviously, the level of customer service is amazing wherever you go.
It is.
There's none of this, if it's not on the rack, mate, we haven't got it.
Well, that's also part of the American condition, that they don't mind being in service, whereas we object to it massively in this country. We just can't stand being servile, which is why you get terrible service in restaurants.
It's crazy, isn't it? But the other thing about it as well, which I find astonishing, is it's just so expensive to live in London.
I don't know anybody can do it. Yeah. And yet you drive around, pleasant places. You drive around Chelsea and Knightsbridge and Belgravia and all these houses that look like microscopic, tiny little places that you could, barely swing a goose-fat duck without hitting the walls. And to get behind one of those doors is going to cost you £5 million. Who are all these people?
And £5 million, of course, with most of the houses in these areas, apart from a very, very few, you can't park your car off the street.
No.
But I think that it's horses for courses in the United States. You've got all the climates at the same time. You've got amazing scenery. Of course, you've got amazing scenery here. But I think that, for me, what does it for me is the cost of living. I love the weather. It's the ability to be able to get things done, do things. Not everything's as green as it makes out. What I mean by that, everyone says the grass is green on the other side. Of course it has its issues and problems. I mean, for instance, where I live, there's only one water company, there's only one electric company, only one gas company. So in real terms, as in London, it's all been deregulated, so there's freedom of choice, and of course, with freedom of choice, it brings down prices. It's
In
different
Las
there.
Vegas, there's only one water company.
Yeah, Las
a
Vegas.
city that's built in a desert.
Yeah, but water's very, very cheap. Gas is very cheap. Electricity is cheap, but of course here, by comparison, it's more expensive.
Yeah, everything's more
because,
expensive here.
Yeah, but because there's a lot of choice of companies, it's actually drives the prices down, doesn't it? So in America, of course, there isn't that particular choice in some states. because
And
of
yet,
the competition.
shockingly, it's still cheaper. Yeah, no one can figure that out.
My water bill for last month was $6.
Well, now you've really upset us.
And that's of course I'm not there, but that's with the irrigation going 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And the other thing, of course, is that the refuse we have to pay for refuse collection, but they collect it twice a week. Not like in some boroughs here, it's once every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, twice a week, bi-weekly. What's the difference? It's
well,
practically the same. Yeah.
Do you like the States yourself? Or
I love it. Yeah. I'd like to live here though, because I'm used to here.
Mm.
But I'd like to have the earning power of America. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, Howard Stern, for instance.
Yep.
Has $100 million a year.
Does he really?
Yeah, $100 million a year.
Is he America's highest paid broadcaster?
Oprah probably is, but he's got to be second, yeah. Anyway, Nigel, best of luck. Thanks a lot, mate. All right.
Wish you well.
Don't play the slots. Here is, oh no, we've got to go, haven't we? It's 7:45. Here's Travel with Alan Joyce.
Thanks, Nick, and we're looking at delays still on the Euston Road.
Let's get back to it.
Here's Chiswick. Hello, Julie.
Hello.
Julie.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the decline of the English language, really. I was listening to someone the other day, and they were speaking quite well, and then all of a sudden they said computer, and I thought, that sounds really awful, but a lot of people do. And the other thing is, when did hospital become hospital? I mean, it's baby talk.
Yeah, well, people, here's me saying yeah. People drop T's and add H's. When they add an H, it always sounds very funny. Like an H is a H. They always like talking like...
Oh, gosh, you just took the words right out of my mouth.
It's like they're talking like policemen.
I know, I mean, is it H or is it H?
And then
I'm sure it's H.
It's H, isn't it? A-I-T-C-H, not H.
No. I mean, it really does sound like baby talk to
Yeah,
me.
it is. It's exactly
Anyway,
what it is.
That's it, really.
Well, thanks a lot, Julie.
Bye.
Cheers, ta-da. Yeah, I don't know whether it's just a function of reading the Telegraph on a daily basis, but I do find myself getting irritated by people who can't talk proper on the radio, innit?
My favourite little, word now that I write down is you're, just you are.
You are?
Yeah, in emails and stuff like that, I've started doing that, and it's a really bad habit.
Stop doing that.
Well, I can't.
I tell you what, if you want to gauge an indication of how people can spell, if you want to gauge the level of literacy of the young folk today, there's a couple of websites that compare mobile phones.
Right.
People will email in their comments about their mobile phones. This phone is great. It has a camera and, all stuff like that. Or, I really hate this one. It ain't got a camera. Things like that.
Yeah.
Buy a camera. But if you want to be absolutely shocked so that your mouth will remain agape for days on end, read the reviews of the mobile phone comparison sites. They are shocking.
Really?
Absolutely stunning.
Is it all in text speak, though?
Kind of. So, some of it is. Some of them look like they've been texted in, but even so, there's no excuse for... I mean, you can shorten words, yeah, but there's no excuse for misspelling words that you've put out in full.
Yeah.
Another good one I like is eBay. Reading people's eBay descriptions.
Right.
There's some... I copy and forward them to my friends. They're so funny. Some of these just.
But it is scary, though, isn't it? I mean, don't you think it's a bit worrying that there's so many people of that level of intelligence that are out there that are not only voting but producing? They're reproducing those genes, passing those genes on.
I don't know if it's just a getting old thing and you start complaining about everything.
Yeah.
But I've noticed just.
You've noticed?
Yeah, just a lot of younger people just. I don't know what
a shower,
I don't know what what's happening in schools if they just don't take English anymore.
I don't get it. No,
that is because a lot of my younger friends,
younger friends,
their spelling is just shocking. Yeah. And I say, you can't even spell simple words. The basic grammar and spelling.
Okay, but things like like the text speak and stuff like that.
Yes.
Do you think that's just plain laziness, or is that just modernisation?
Well, text speak is it's like shorthand. You, by a necessity, do miss out large chunks of words, and as long as you can be understood, and you're not making a burk of yourself. I mean, you can take out the vowels of a lot of words, and it still mean the same, and you can get your point across much more quickly. So text speak is totally acceptable, whereas just not knowing how to spell anything right isn't.
I think the bad thing about, like you say, the text speak, it's, adapting to that kind of medium. It's easier to shorten a 5-letter word to a 2-letter word.
Two-letter word.
And, but I think kids are using that as the norm, though, aren't they? They'll go and write something at school, say, and they'll use that text speak to write a story or a sentence.
They come out of school clutching their 5-star, an A-star in English, and are stunned to learn that they can't actually communicate or write or pass information on in an acceptable way to business people, who then have to turn around and teach them how to read and write. It's the CBI on a yearly basis comes out with the same thing. We're shocked that Ungorgeous Gordon is sending us a great wave of school leavers who have no idea how to read or write or add up, and so they have to then teach them how to, communicate like real human beings.
Yeah, but they're great at chatting with their mates.
Yeah, they can download porn quicker than you could possibly imagine, quicker than you could make it. Here's Sheffield. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, Nick.
Jessica.
Don't make me follow a conversation about the decline of English language. It makes me feel like I should speak proper.
Yeah, like what I do.
Yeah, I mean, really, Alex's and Chris's input has made me feel better. It's a common touch, isn't it, really?
Yes. Is that what you're calling it?
Yeah. I went to a school where they kind of made you... It was more important what you said than how you spelt it, which at the time...
What kind of hippie, commie school was that?
Yeah, exactly. At the time I thought it was good. I still do now, but, anyway.
You've got to have both. If you can't spell, then people just laugh at you, and it doesn't matter what you're saying. You could be Wittgenstein, and they still wouldn't pay you the slightest bit of attention if you can't spell correctly.
No, you're behind the times. That's what spell check is for, isn't it?
Spell check only works if you can interpret it, because some words are spelled in a variety of different ways.
I don't use spell check because I figure that people will know the gist of my conversation by what I've sent to them.
Always use spell check, Jessica.
Anyway, it was about Anne Widdecombe.
Oh, yeah.
You won't remember this because you've got a terrible memory, and also it happened on your show.
Yeah, I never listened to my show.
A couple of people have been bigging up Anne Widdecombe over the last few weeks, and I Sky Plussed her show. Have you seen that show that she's been doing?
No, but I can imagine it.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's Anne Widdecombe telling us what to do, which is good. I Sky Plussed it off the back of that. And I watched them today, and Anne Widdecombe is sort of taking on unemployed people and teenagers and chads and...
Right, none of whom have got any idea who she is, presumably.
Well, she's received quite a bit of abuse.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, she's been called a bitch and everything.
Right, I bet.
And I don't agree with that.
And that didn't have anything to do with the TV show, either.
Yeah, and also, I read an article...
That was at home.
Yeah, she did an interview with someone this week. I don't think it was a Telegraph. It might have been the Mail.
Yeah, it would fit well with the Mail, yes.
Yeah, and when she'd stopped pontificating about moral kind of decline, the interviewer was brave enough, I guess, to point out that she was a bit batty, and she's a bit bonkers, and that's what makes her so watchable.
Yeah.
Most of what she's saying makes sense. but it softens because she's bonkers.
Yeah, eccentric, I think, is the word you're looking
exactly. I love eccentrics. We haven't got enough of them.
for. Oh, yeah, we do. We've got no end of them.
Well, name one.
Name one. Well, Lord Bath of Longley, whatever his name is. I mean, there's no end of them.
Is he the one that's got loads of wives?
Yes.
Yeah. Patrick Moore. Is it Moore? The star guy?
Yes, he's eccentric.
Yeah.
Yeah. People with a lot of money who are famous and are act a little bit strange are eccentrics. People with no money who act a little bit strange are loonies.
Yeah, you said that before.
Here, listen, Jessica, I'm past the break, so I've got to go.
Okay, then.
Right, cheers, my dear.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta, LBC.
I'm listening, dear. You can talk to me.
Wrong one. Hang on one moment. Wallington. Oh, Joan.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Joan.
Oh, it's so important.
What is?
My revelation.
Okay, revelate.
Well, you were talking about words, English language in general, and it reminded me of yesterday. I was talking about liver. Your liver and how important it is that it should be working well because the whole body goes out of gear. Everything goes wrong, you start aching.
Have you ever drunk so much that your liver aches?
Ah, well, you see, there you go. That's exactly it. And the word intoxication came up.
Yeah.
And I think, oh yeah, I've always thought the word, you have a word and you have an idea. Intoxicated. Oh, you're a bit jolly, a bit friendly, a little bit drunk, and that's all there is to it. Intoxication means I am poisoning myself.
Yeah, well, you are. It's a poison.
It's an absolute poison. How come I never really thought of it before?
It's one of my favourite poisons.
Yeah, but it fills up, doesn't it?
No, not really. I mean, well, if you drink in moderation, you stick to a couple of bottles of wine a day, you'll be fine, Joan.
Well, I mean, I must have a very sensitive liver, because the minute I take any wine at all, I just go into ill.
Straight to ill, eh?
Yeah, straight to ill.
Not a happy drunk.
No way. So I have to avoid it, really.
I'm completely the same, drunk as sober. You'd be hard-pressed to tell whether I'm, because I don't sing up, I don't jump up and down and dance and sing.
You know, when you were saying about ache, you're so drunk you ache.
Yeah.
If you have all the acids and so on that alcohol puts into the liver, it actually makes you start aching. Really physically. You'll have muscle ache, you'll have joint ache.
Yeah, I know that.
But it's weird, isn't it? Because people don't think I'm going out on Friday night to
poison myself. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Well, it's one of the... we'll file it under W for weird. It's the thickest file we've got.
Okay.
News is on the way. Thanks a lot, Joan.
Bye now.
Cheers, ta-ta. Switch to red wine. I've found that you can drink much less red wine and still be satisfied than white. Isn't that right, Carol?
Booze. On 97.8.
Abbott.
Here we go.
So did you see the Soprano? Oh, God, no, you don't watch television, do you?
That's one thing I would actually like to get into is the Soprano.
Speak louder.
Turn the music down. No, I'd actually like to get into the Soprano. I feel like, because how many seasons has gone?
I don't know. I want to say 5.
I have a lot of viewing to catch up on.
A lot of viewing to catch up on.
A lot.
Yes, you do. It's in its final stages at the moment over on E4. So presumably the people who don't have satellite or Freeview, who only have got channels 1 to 5, are going to have to wait even longer. I would guess it would be around Christmas, something like that. They'll put it on proper Channel 4. They've left it too long.
Will not all be out on DVD soon?
Yeah, but not everybody wants to spend 40 quid on something they'll only ever watch once. Yeah.
No, that's one thing. I mean, I don't watch a lot of television, but that's one series I keep saying to myself I should, because everyone says it's brilliant.
It's, I think, the best thing that has ever been on television. And the last 9 I've seen already, because, as I previously explained, with the greatest will in the world, you will be told how it ends before you see it. Because people People in the media will be told already. America, of course, have seen it already. And people in the media won't be able to contain themselves. They won't... In exactly the same way that all reviewers tell you what happens at the end of the film. It's like something that you hear in the school playground. I know something you don't know. It's like that. They just can't stop themselves. And they'll say something like, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but... And then they spoil it for you. And there'll be no way around it. Almost everybody will know how the thing ends before they'll see it actually end, unless you completely insulate yourself from everything. You won't be able to look on any websites for, concerning the media at all, because somebody will tell you, particularly if you're looking on something from America. He's taking a very long time for making a cup of tea. Where's he going? Salon?
Well, he always goes downstairs to make it.
Why?
I don't know.
There's tea and coffee making facilities up here.
That was the whole point of them.
It's like a 4-star hotel.
Oh.
It's a delight.
I think he's gone because I have a special tea bag that he has to go and get.
What?
Yeah, here he comes.
You have a special tea bag?
Well, I don't drink the builder's tea.
Well, really? What do you drink?
Earl Grey.
Oh, you don't like builder's tea, you don't like cars or beer, what do you like? Which is mine? This
I've got
one.
2 teas for you.
2 teas?
One is made by me, and one is made by Lucy.
Oh, really?
We want you to taste them and see which one is better.
Better?
Better.
I can see I'm going to be having to correct you two all evening long. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Here is Broxburn. Hello, Brian.
Good evening, there, Nicholas.
Brian.
I have a constitutional issue I wish to discuss with you via the medium of wireless.
Carry on with your bad self.
Now, Elizabeth the First, Walter Raleigh and all that.
Ew, I don't like that one.
Our Queen, Elizabeth II.
Yeah.
The Queen Mother was also a queen. Ergo, why isn't our Queen Elizabeth III?
I don't know. Who cares? I prefer this tea, the one in the black mug. Oh, he's not listening.
Oh, so I see. Well, I couldn't drink Earl Grey for the life of me.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's the oil of bergamot, isn't it?
It's one of those things the Americans think that we drink all the time.
Yeah, because it's so sophisticated.
Yeah, but no, I couldn't be doing that. I like my builder's tea. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm partial to it myself. Nice. Well, you've got to put a bit of sugar in it, but it'll keep you healthy. No wonder your granny used to live to 160 because she was drinking 10 cups of tea a day.
I must say, I think the West Wing is far better than The Sopranos.
The what?
The West Wing.
Oh, I never saw The West Wing.
Oh, that was superb.
I did not see The West Wing. I'm now having to correct myself.
Yeah, it's a brilliant bit of television.
Well, everyone kept going on and on and on about it, but I'm going to stick with The Sopranos in my ignorance, never having seen The West Wing.
Well, give it a go anyway, mate.
I will. It will probably be on repeat from now until forever. All right, thanks a lot, Brian.
Cheers, mate.
What was the question that he asked again? Something about Elizabeth I. Anyway, who did the black... Okay, so you gave me 2 teas. One was made by Luby Lou, who's my superb producer. Again, waggling my fingers in the air to denote inverted commas when I say producer. Nobody really has any idea what she does. She just sits there and yaks on about her bloomin' dog. But she does make an excellent cup of tea every now and again. So you gave me 2 teas. One was from her and one was from you.
Yes.
And this was presumably in response to me complaining about the first one.
Correct.
And I choose the one in the black mug.
That will be mine.
Yours?
Yes.
Huh.
I knew I was going to win. Thing is, she puts the milk in last, and it just doesn't mix well with the water, I find.
That's one of the sillier things you've said, and really, you are raising the bar ever higher with almost every utterance.
And also, I noticed that when she puts in a spoonful of sugar...
Yeah, makes the...
medicine go down.
Down is the right answer.
She doesn't stir for that long, which doesn't make it as sweet as you'd like. So, it's all in the stirring and the milk going first.
Well, I hope you're paying attention, Luce. Here is Sarf Norwood. Hello, Philip.
Good evening, Nick.
It's Mr. Lister.
Tonight, Nick, we've got is that the penultimate, is that the last but one, isn't it?
That's right.
Of the top 25 from the USA Today.
Well, they've run out of ideas, have
No,
they?
it's to celebrate their birthdays.
Oh, how old are they?
25 years.
Nobody thought it would last.
Sell them a cake.
A paper that dull, yeah.
Yeah, next week's the last one. Tonight's one is the top 25 influential people of the past 25 years.
Influential people.
Yeah, do you want to make a few guesses?
Yes, I will. Well, it'll have to be Bush Senior.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the chap who invented the internet. I'm going to write these down.
You're doing quite well. Well, in the internet, yes, yeah.
I would say not Steve Jobs, the richest man in the world.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Bill
yes.
Gates, yes. Do you want me to tell you where Bill Gates is?
No.
All right.
Bill Gates. Who else? Oprah.
Yes.
Because it's an American publication. Useless Today, it's called. Influential.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to have to...
When you said, you mentioned the president, actually, you were slightly... the one that I've got in front of me is George W.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's very odd.
Yeah, the 43rd US president.
Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney?
No.
Oh, shut up.
Well, he might have been, mightn't he? Cause
not in the last 25 years.
Number 25 is going to have you banging the table.
Don't tell me. Not yet.
No, I won't.
Okay, so we've got politics. Are there more people from politics?
No, it's well, there's a couple of foreign political people in there.
Okay, well then you'd have to say, if it's foreign, they'd have to say Tony Blair.
No.
No, like I said, not Tony Blair.
No.
I said that. Nelson Mandela.
No.
Really?
No.
Foreign politicians.
Putin?
You're close, Chris. You're close. Think previous.
Oh, that's got him stumped.
Yeltsin.
No, think previous.
Oh.
Gorbachev.
Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous,
And now think over the border.
Which way?
Oh, got me mad with me. Think that part of the world.
Right. Well, let's just start picking names at random again. It was much more fun.
Okay.
I think Osama bin Laden.
Yeah, he's in there. Oh, I've got an apology to make, Nick. I've just noticed that what I did is, of course, I always sort of edit it down, you know. So,
yeah.
But Nelson Mandela is in there.
Right.
I do apologise.
Mandela.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I've got a 100% success rate, right?
Well, here's a good one for you. Think pop music.
Yeah, well, I was going to come to...
the person who's in everybody's list, and we don't know why he's in there.
I was coming to popular music. Simon Cowell.
No.
Is not in there.
No.
Well, that's interesting because I think that he probably should be.
Yeah.
In the sense that he is the man who runs American television now.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
maybe, you know, this
is number one.
Before, you know.
Well, Rupert Murdoch's got to be in there.
I was surprised he wasn't in there.
He's not in there.
No, he's not.
Like I said, Rupert Murdoch's not in there.
How can I think of someone who's been involved in campaigns and I never understood, I never heard his music.
Oh, not Bongo.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bongo.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh, Struth.
Yeah, that's what when I saw that, I thought, oh, Nick's going to love that. There's another person who was pop music in there as well.
Right. Is it somebody else in silly sunglasses?
Michael Jackson?
Well, you're close, Chris. Think...
Oh, Spiddy, or whatever he calls himself now. Hip-hop?
Hip-hop.
Yeah, P. Doody.
Well, no, that's his, the person's name I've got down
Sean
here.
Combs.
Russell Simmons.
Yeah, like I said, Russell Simmons.
Is he P. Diddy?
Def Jam.
Def Jam, yeah.
Mr. Def Jam, yeah.
The co-founder the hip-hop label, Def Jam.
Hippie hip-hop. Don't stop rocking till the band, bam, boogie.
Yeah.
Jumped up. Yeah. Played the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie.
The number 25, Nick, is a real...
Something like that.
I don't understand why he's there.
Because what we hear is not a test, we're rapping to the beat.
Oh,
one of the worst songs ever made.
Oh, right.
Do you know that song?
No.
It was to Chic's Good Times, da-da-dum.
Oh, right.
Boom.
I've never been into it.
And it was the first hip-hop record that was actually a big hit.
Oh, right.
And it was, what was it called? It was the Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Rapper's Delight is correct, yeah. And then the next big hippie-hop hit was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 and The Message, which remains a fantastic piece of music.
All right.
But not the Sugar Hill Gang. They were weak. With a capital Eek.
Oh, right.
Anyway, Philip, we're past the break. I'll have to come back to you,
Okay,
all right? Hold
right,
that thought. It's 8:16. Here's Travel Now with Will Gowing.
Thanks very much. The Euston Road tonight is still pretty heavy.
Abbott.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome, come on in.
So, Alex, you haven't contributed to this important and scientifically valid discussion yet. So, Philip, we're going through this list.
Right.
I'm trying to guess what you're going to say before you say it, right?
Right. Have you worked out who number 25 is? Well, I'll give you a clue.
How do I know what number 25 is?
They've listed him as everyman, but what's his first name? What's his name?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No. I'll give you a clue, Alex and Chris. He doesn't... He's a fictional character.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's in there, but it's not Harry Potter.
Harry Potter's in the list of the
J.K.
25
Rowling's
most...
in there.
Oh, okay, that's
J.K.
right.
Rowling's in there.
All right, let me guess a few other...
Well, actually, as I say, you've done quite a few, because what I've done is I cut it down, because, as you know, sometimes 25's a...
I think that Madonna is going to be in there.
Who?
Madonna.
No, she's not.
What? I think Steven Spielberg will be in there.
No, he's not.
Oh, come on. This is not a valid list at all.
Well, I'll tell you what 25 is. 25 is Homer Simpson. What they say...
We can screw this list
The
up and throw it
darkest
straight in the bin,
star
can't
of
we?
The Simpsons epitomises the irony and irreverence at the core of the modern American humour.
Yeah.
The same force has helped to make The Daily Show, Jon Stewart, a major source of news for young people.
Okay, Homer Simpson and The Daily Show have got nothing to do with each other. I watch them both, and they're in no way alike.
I must admit, I have watched The Daily Show on occasion.
The Daily Show is if you haven't seen it, I think it's the funniest talk show on television, bar none.
Yeah.
And it's a daily show. They don't even have to take a deep breath and spit out one a week. He does it every day.
Yeah,
and it's on More 4, I think.
Yeah, really. Anyway, 23, Russell Simmons. 21, 22, Bill and Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Didn't I say the Clintons?
I don't think you did. You mentioned some people, but I don't think you mentioned the Clintons.
Right. I was going to. Does that count?
Never mind. 20 was J.K. Rowling.
Right. Forgetting children reading again.
Yeah. Nelson Mandela. 18, you having a cup of tea. Coffee.
Pardon?
Coffee. Number 18 is coffee. What's the connection? Who is it?
Number 18 is coffee.
Coffee, yeah.
Oh, the chap who invented Starbucks.
Yeah, Howard Schultz.
Right.
Yeah, 17, Michael Jordan. 16, the name that you couldn't guess.
Starbucks, by the way. I've had their coffee. Why, are they advertising with us?
Not at the moment.
Why anybody would drink that stuff twice is a mystery to me. It's not coffee at all. I don't know what it is that they're serving in there, but it's just... Oh.
With variations of coffee, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
My girlfriend can't live without it, and I don't quite get it.
Well, I think that you do get, I think it is an addiction.
Yeah.
But it is a drug. Well, their coffee is not proper coffee. It just...
well, that's because it's their own special brand of coffee, isn't it?
Yeah, but they then disguise it with fudge and chocolate and milk and, that's not coffee.
Bit.
That's dessert.
It's the best bit.
Well, yes, of course it's the best bit, yes, but actual coffee is not like that.
Number 16...
You're never remotely interested in anything that
I am, as I told you before, it's difficult on the phone to tell when you've stopped talking.
I'll say, Philip, carry on.
Right, okay.
Philip, carry on.
The one that you couldn't guess, Deng Xiaoping.
Oh, yeah, Deng Xiaoping. Yes.
Right, the guy is Sam Walton. It says here retailing pioneer.
Right, he's the guy who owns, or the family who owns Walmart and Asda.
Yes,
they're based. I think they're the biggest company. I think the biggest company in the world now.
It says he was a farm boy from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Who started...
I think he famously still is. Well, their family still are, aren't they? They live in modest means.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Bush is number 14, and also, can I blow my own trumpet here? it was months ago when we first heard about old Fred standing for the presidency. I think he's going to win.
No chance.
I
What,
do.
the guy from the actor?
Law and Order, he's going to win it.
Like they need another actor as president.
Well, I mean, he's got experience. I mean, at least he's not never had any political... he has had political experience.
I wouldn't be surprised if Obama won.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. Sergey Brin and Larry Page.
Yeah, the Google
guys.
chap. How annoying is that? They're 12 years old and are worth £10 trillion each.
Yeah. Gorbachev, you got that. Bono. Number 9, Pope John Paul II.
Mind you, if you were worth as much as them, would you even show up for work? I mean, they sold Google, haven't they? Don't they have the money in the bank? Why are they still going to work?
Maybe there's incentive to do more,
More? How much more do you need?
Well, that's the thing. If, whatever you've got is never enough, is it?
No.
Well, it's not about... once you get to that level, it's not about the money anymore. Although, they didn't really do much to get to that level. Most people who become billionaires are like people like Richard Branson, who started when he was a teenager and started a record shop, and he's been working, doing business deals his whole life. Yeah. People like Alan Sugar and, all of these mystery people out in the city.
Yeah.
But those two guys, they just had an idea and they worked on it for, 5-10 minutes, and then the next thing they knew, they owned all the money that Bill Gates doesn't have.
Yeah.
Very annoying.
Yeah. Lance Armstrong is number 8.
Why?
Well, because it says here that the way that he's become, well known, and also helped to fight cancer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bit.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. Right. Okay.
Hawking. Number 6, Osama.
What does it say about Stephen Hawking?
In the tradition of Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein, he explores the nature of the universe, he popularised science, and remains a personality despite being severely disabled by Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah, and no one has the faintest idea what he's talking about. Am I right? I mean, have you tried to read his book?
No, I must admit, it's not my reading. I don't do much reading anyway.
I read the I read the TV guide, but that's about it. Yeah.
Number 4 and 5 are. Well, I was going to leave these two out, but I think Francis Collins and J. Craig Venter. Do either of you know who that is?
Francis Collins.
Yeah,
and
J. Craig
Venter. Well, no, we should be able to work out, because this is number 4.
Yeah.
And are they
4 and 5?
Are they in order of importance?
Well, they're both very similar to Sergey Brin and Larry Page.
Oh, they're the...
No, in the sense that they work together.
Oh, okay. Well, come on, chaps, we should be able to work this out. We've had the coffee people, we've had the, the internet. They invented the internet. No, they didn't, because that was an English feller.
What? Something to do with medical.
Right, okay, they unlocked the DNA.
Yeah, the Human Genome Project.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 3, you've mentioned her already, Oprah Winfrey.
Isn't that amazing? She just does this silly, girly chat show, and she's paid more than anybody else in the history of the entertainment business.
What they say about her, Nick, is that she pioneered a form of intimate public discourse that brought forth formerly taboo subjects into the open and sparked a confessional self-help culture.
Yeah, exactly. It's her fault.
Yeah.
All of these people bleating about, "Hey, my husband hits me," on daytime television.
Yeah.
It's all down to Oprah.
Yeah.
And she gets paid, well, it's just absolutely staggering what she gets paid. I think it's in the billions, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then, that's show business. So we come to the bottom of the list, yes?
Number 2 is Ronald Reagan.
Well, that's just silly.
He put the United States on a more conservative course, restored confidence in the presidency, and forged a partnership that helped end the Cold War.
Well, that's just comical. That bumble-headed dope restored confidence in the presidency? That man did that?
Number 1, you've mentioned him, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, number 1.
His Microsoft has shaped the way millions use the technology that has transformed communications and commerce, making him for a time the world's richest man and now a leading
philanthropist. Yes.
Yes. Well, that's the rundown for this week. Next week is the final one.
What is it?
It's, as what I understand, it's the news stories of the past 25 years.
Ah, right.
I understand.
Well, I'll tell you what's number 1 right now.
The news?
the news.
I thought the news was coming up. I thought you were going to...
No, I'll tell you what the #1 story is on next week's poll right now.
What's that?
And the anniversary of it's coming around every day now.
Yeah. So I think you're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out, though.
Okay.
Good job as always.
Okay, Nick.
Thanks, Philip.
Bye.
Yes, so I got everyone right, I think. Apart from all of the ones that I didn't. Yeah.
A-star.
An A-star, yes, you're quite right. Well, we could have got them all wrong and still got an A-star, just by showing up.
I'm surprised the Queen wasn't on there.
The Queen?
Yeah,
which Queen?
Our Queen.
Oh, right.
Because she's like head of the Commonwealth.
Hey, I saw that film, The Queen, the other day.
And?
With Helen Mirren and somebody else. Oh, that funny guy who was doing the Prime Minister. And it had got such a gigantic positive press when it came out. You know what? I sat through it. It was rubbish.
Look around you. How many of the people around you?
You're wondering what it's all about, and I can't tell you because I don't know myself.
Did you see The Queen on ITV the other day?
No, but I've seen it before.
Oh?
Yeah.
Did you spent actual money and went to see it at the cinema?
Did you say it was on ITV1?
I believe so.
Already?
No, maybe that is where I saw it. It was just the other day, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I saw it.
I missed it.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention then.
It's after the death of Diana, the Queen found it difficult to express her pent-up emotions, mostly because she didn't have any.
Yeah.
Right? And the nation at one was very upset with her for not, showing public emotion, which is not what queens do. Well, queens do that, but not the Queen.
And you didn't like it?
I thought it was rubbish. I thought it was... I bow to no one in my admiration for Helen Mirren. She is fantastic. But I just thought it was a bit silly.
Yeah, they tried to make, the characters, a bit comical. Don't you think? Like, Tony Blair was a bit,
Yeah.
I know they were trying to do, a characterisation of him, and just didn't...
Yeah, it was made to appear a dope.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he does that chummy, matey thing in public when he sits on Richard and Judy, but I'm sure he's not chummy and matey behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they didn't like his wife, did they? They made her look like a right cow. But I just thought the whole thing was just ridiculous. I mean, how on earth did they know any of these things? They just made it all up, didn't they?
Well, that's the thing, they were showing, bits of the Queen at, is it Highgrove and all that, and her doing her daily routine. But how do they know?
They don't know. I thought it was daft.
It was. But has the Queen actually seen it, do you reckon?
How do I know? I don't know, but you think so. I mean, if somebody made a film that was called Chris, for instance, and it was about you, you'd have a sneaky peek, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd have
Just to see. Yes, that's right. I was going to say something very important.
But I'm not the Queen, though.
No, you can say that again.
Yeah. But, so would she really take the time out to watch the film?
Well, what else is she going to do?
I know. She queens.
She does normal things. She listens to the radio. She eats her breakfast out of Tupperware boxes.
I remember that picture. That was weird. That was.
Yeah.
That didn't make me feel comfortable.
She has a phalanx of people come bring their Tupperware boxes in for her.
Yeah.
And tune her radio to the correct station and so on. I mean, I'm sure they don't do anything for each other.
I'm pretty sure she's phoned up here before asking how to tune her DAB properly.
Yes. Undoubtedly. But no, I just thought it was a bit silly. And then, apparently, it was the most celebrated British film of last year, which I think tells us everything we need to know about the British film industry. Every now and again, they try to breathe a bit of life into it to pretend that it's actually still in existence, but actually I think it died a long time ago.
I tell you what we're not very good at is...
anything.
Making British action blockbuster films.
Oh, terrible. Well, we've got no money for a start.
I want to see massive stunts and explosions in London, and
exactly.
You see them all the time in New York and Los Angeles, them driving cars, and jumping bridges and all that.
Right.
And
the man in the vest is not going to save London. No.
What about James Bond?
Well, I was going to say that, James Bond, but then they'll do a little stunt in London, and then they'll swiftly move to Monte Carlo or somewhere else more exotique.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, if James Bond doesn't really count, I don't think.
But I don't think London does, I don't think Britain really does. It doesn't sit well with us, all that colourful stuff that, because America is in our imagination is very colourful and vibrant, and extraordinary things happen there. From right back to the 50s when they were living the life of Riley.
Yeah.
Whoever Riley was, I don't know, but they were all driving around in these giant cars, and petrol cost nothing, and fridges were so big they could walk into them, and they had no end of food, and meanwhile in this country it was grey and raining and depressing, and there was no food in the shops, and it was still on rations, and no one was having sex. They didn't invent that in here until the 60s. And in America they had Elvis, who was so sexual they had to film him from the waist up, and they were, cruising around and doing it to each other. And so we've always had this notion that America is much more colourful and exciting and vibrant than here, which I think is one of the reasons why exciting actioners don't seem to fit well here. They're just wrong.
I think we're too self-conscious here as well, because if we try and do that kind of film, it always has to be with humour, or, making fun of ourselves while we do it. We can't just make a straight
film,
action film anymore.
Even the French can do that, but we don't seem to be able to do it. We've got
the hugest egos in the world.
We've got two speeds. We can either do your rom-com with the floppy-haired guy, who seems to be by law has to appear in those films,
and everybody's posh.
Yes, that's right. Everyone is posh. Yes, and they all swear a lot because they think it's dangerous. Or they'll do and I am so bored of this, and Madonna's husband has got a lot to answer for, the British gangster flick. How many of those have we seen? Over and over and over they come out. There's another one out just now called, I don't know, I'm going to smash your head in, or something, something like that. And it's getting a nil point all round.
We did make some brilliant, thrillers and crime films, and I watched Get Carter the other day, and I thought, that really stands up, really excellent, gritty.
Yeah.
There's no need for humour in it, or it's just straight ahead, gritty thriller.
Yeah. Black and white, no comfort involved. Yes, quite. And when we do, and we used to make charming comedies of the old school, the Ealing comedies. I still enjoy those, every single one of them. But then we started to make comedies that hark back to that era, and they've never worked. And it started with and includes The Italian Job, which I maintain is a rubbish film.
Really?
Although it will come out as number 1 or 2 in everybody's top British films ever made, and I think it's only because people haven't seen it lately.
Have you seen the remake of that?
No. Because they said it was worse, and I thought, well, nothing could be worse, surely, so I gave it a wide berth.
Oh, I enjoyed the remake. It was good.
Yeah, it actually wasn't that bad. I was preparing to hate it. Grudgingly liked it.
And it had all the modern minis in it.
We don't seem to be actually be able to do comedy, though, either, do we, really? I think the best British comedy of the last 10 years or however long it's been has been the Austin Powers series.
Oh, really?
And that wasn't British at all. It was just that was the subject.
Didn't the Americans love the Full Monty, though?
Well, there's a film that I've tried to see a few times, and it's supposed to be laugh out loud hysterical, and from what I could see, there wasn't a smile in it.
See, that film looks really gloomy, doesn't it? It's all really grey.
It's Bran. I don't like Bran.
No, you see, all the Americans love watching it because, of course, they don't have to live there. But we live here. That's what we have to
I don't want to see what it's like in Sheffield.
Yeah, I know.
It's all it's grim enough down here.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't, if it was funny, then yes. Billy Elliot was on the other day. That was...
I haven't seen that.
That's a good film.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. It's funny, and it's kind of charming, and you tear up at the end. Are you the sort of person who tears up at the end?
Yeah, I am. I can't watch anything now, these days. I thought, like, when I was younger, I could watch anything, and it didn't affect me. And now I'm watching, an advert, and I'll go, ooh, that's a bit sad.
Well, I'll tell you what, a little while ago, they reran Princess Diana's whole funeral thing, didn't they?
What, the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole day.
No.
Yeah, they did. On the occasion of Diana's death, on the anniversary of her death, on BBC Parliament, the channel that no one watches, even fewer people watch that than BBC 3.
Yeah.
They repeated the whole day, and I tuned on right at the beginning of the day, just as Lord Fufi Fonfon, what's his name? Was doing his speech.
Right.
Which went down as one of the best speeches, of the last decade
Of
or
that
so.
time.
Yeah. What's the guy's name? Earl Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end, when he started to get a little bit of a wobble in his voice, I'm crying too.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Tears welling up in my... Not exactly pouring down my face, but welling up in my eyes. Then the other day, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ollie, went out on the field at Manchester United to wave goodbye to his adoring fans because he's just announced his retirement. And I'm welling up at that too. I actually did that. Yeah.
No, I'm getting like that as well. Like, I can't watch half my DVD collection. I don't know if it's because I live on my own now, or it's just I'm sitting there going, I can't watch this.
It's because you're both getting old.
Well, the end of Debbie Does Dallas is very upsetting.
It gets me every time.
But I think that's really weird that they showed the funeral again.
Well, yes, and I suspect, and I said this at the time, I suspect that the reason they did that was to insulate themselves from any criticism that they would let such a momentous occasion go by without reflecting it in some way. So they could say that even though they didn't, have a special commemorative programme on BBC One, that they did run the whole day again on one of their channels, thereby protecting themselves from any criticism. I think that's why they did it.
It doesn't make sense because it's just a little bit weird. I mean, you wouldn't want to attend, one of your...
funeral again.
Yeah.
No. Well, apart from the service, which was worth repeating, I suppose, did they then... I think that they actually did then follow the car all the way to Althorp.
Yeah, I remember. That's one of the things I remember is people throwing
and then him having, and then the driver putting the window wipers on
to chuck them all off again.
Which I thought was, I thought it was a bit poor actually.
Well, I guess you got to see where you're going.
Well, I suppose so.
You got to abide by the laws of the road.
Yeah, but why is it? I mean, I know they're all very posh and all, and posh people throw words at you and in funny spellings in order to catch out, the non-U's.
Yeah.
Why is Althorp Althorp?
It's text speak, that is.
It isn't. It's Althorp.
What was it?
In much the same way as Ralph Fiennes isn't Rafe, it's Ralph. Get over yourself, mate.
Yeah, if you've got plums in your mouth, I don't think you can say it properly.
And,
what was it? Feather
Stonagh. Featherstoner is actually pronounced Fanshawe. How could anybody derive that from Featherstoner? And there's just so many of those. Posh people, it's a way to find out who is and is not you. There's in the letter U.
Yeah.
You're non-you for a start.
What?
Marked you out straight away. This is LBC. It's 8:44. Wishing my life away. Here's Travel Now with someone I don't know because it's not written on my screen.
No worries, thank you very much. If you're heading onto the Euston Road tonight, then
it's a good idea to get someone else's opinion.
So you don't, you're not emotional, Chris. If sad music comes on, I don't care what it is. It could be a car advert. I'm crying.
No, not really.
Right, you're like a man's man.
Why is that so funny? No, I don't know. I haven't.
Oh, let it out, boy.
I haven't got time.
Have a good cry.
See, I just think it's a bit, I don't know, a waste of time.
No, it's not. It's emotion. All of these emotions are inside you. If they're in you, you must let them out.
Really?
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't know where they are inside me. And so
well, search with both hands. Here's Bracknell. Hello, Jeffrey.
Hello.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, just interesting you're talking about films, which is one aspect of the entertainment industry. And of course, as now we don't actually produce anything, the only way that you can get affluent and position within our society is actually to become a media celebrity.
Yeah.
I think, personally.
By which you mean someone who goes into rehab a lot?
If they can't handle the drugs and the fame and the fortune, they tend to...
I don't think that's actually got anything to do with it. They just go into rehab a lot because, well, it's like it's a cheap holiday, because it's tax deductible, I would imagine. And that's just what the press they just lap it up. Anyone who goes in and out of rehab is almost guaranteed to get coverage in the red top tabs.
I'm not sure if I'd like to get a bit of fame just on the basis of losing the... What's that little bit of gristle in between your nose when you snored too much of that white stuff?
Your septum.
Wasn't it Danielle Westbrook, didn't she?
Yeah. Yes, I can still picture that photograph in the papers.
I don't fancy it. I don't fancy, appearing sort of 4 times a week on EastEnders doing sort of fairly low-level amateur work and dramatic work. I shouldn't say amateur. It's very wrong. It's very professional. And then spend on my £200,000 I've earned that year on white stuff that I picked up from some dodgy dealer in the West End of London, and then get some backhanded kind of extra exposure by doing that. That doesn't particularly appeal to me.
No, it doesn't. It seems like a giant waste of money.
Yes.
Yeah. But like I said, you don't have to be a drug addict to go into rehab. You just have to go into rehab. I could book in tomorrow, and my value would soar.
Right.
As long as I pretend to take a load of drugs, it's the only thing that anyone's interested in anymore. You look at the middle pages of the Sun and the Mirror and the Star and all of those papers. The only celebrities that they cover anymore are people who do a ton of drugs.
You mean the junk news coverage?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Bridget Jones' Diary. Did you see that?
You saw what?
Bridget Jones' Diary. It's a feminist film, I think.
Yeah. I can't remember whether I did or not.
It was with Renée Zellweger or something. What name it is? That American lady.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I can't remember whether I've seen it or not. It's probably one of those films I tried for 10 minutes and thought, no.
Well, there was another bigged-up British film. That's the point I'm trying to make. Cause it had
She's American. How could it be a British film?
Well, because the British films, they have to bring in a top-line American actor or actress to get the audience figures going, don't you? And
right.
also
Okay, so the director's American, the money's American, the actor's American, but it's a British film.
Well, it's set in England. It had sort of a couple of... It had Hugh Grant in it again. And Hugh Grant and the guy who's often in the sort of Jane Austen films, I can't remember his name, who's handsome and wonderful. And she's all neurotic about who she's going to fall in love with, and why hasn't she got married by the time she's 35?
Right. Oh, that sounds fascinating.
Boring!
Well, that's what I thought. I thought that too. I went and saw it, and I was totally disappointed in the same way I was disappointed with The Full Monty, because that was basically... I hate using that word as well. It was fundamentally about unemployed Yorkshire steelworkers who can't find any direction in their life apart from taking their clothes off.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I would pay them to keep their clothes on.
So would I, yeah. But that was I mean, what a narrative that is. That's exceptional, isn't it? I mean, it must take them 5 minutes.
Yeah, at least 5 minutes, yeah.
But anyway...
And then another 5 to write all of those hilarious gags that don't even make you smile. Yeah.
Yes. At what point are we going to see their backsides? Oh, isn't that... Oh, well, yes. No, oh, there it is! There's the backside. That's just so funny.
Every 50-year-old in the audience who have just been bussed there from that Queen who's on ITV in the daytime now. All of those old dears with... Oh, we'll say knickers any minute! Oh! It just makes you want to die.
Unfortunately, it's like that. But there we go. Do you know one of the reasons we used to have a good British film industry? Because I think it was Winston Churchill instituted a tax on American films, which then cross-subsidised into British film production.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so American films to show here, when we had an empire and we actually believed in ourselves, they said, well, if you want to show your horrible, trashy American commercial films here, then you're going to have to pay us money to do that. And then we've cross-subsidised our film industry, like Ealing Studios, and I can't remember, there's a couple of others that just produce like people like James Mason, with funding. And I thought that was a pretty good idea.
Well, yes. On the other hand, it's an outrageous idea. How could we? I mean, that's like a restraint of trade. That's awful.
Well, you mean protect our own industries and our own interests?
Well, if your industry needs protecting, then the implication is that it's not actually very popular.
No, the problem is you've got Hollywood producing films for an American clientele. What's it called? American audience of 200 million. So they're going to be consuming films like nobody's business. And the British, what's the state of the British film industry producing films for an audience of about 30 million? So the economics weren't comparable. But
yeah, on the other hand, when you go out to the cinema, what do you want to see? You want to see a British film or an American film?
No, I think it's true what you're saying. Some of the no, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Good, that's a reasonable film.
Yeah, you never want to see it again, though, right? Because it's just misery. It's just awful to look at. I don't want to spend a cheap holiday in other people's misery. I want to be entertained.
That was about, wasn't it about northern, kind of...
Yeah, exactly, northern. You could just stop the sentence there.
Well, that was when we actually had things called industries up north. Do you know, instead of people who just either live on dole or,
yeah.
Or, I don't know...
I'd much rather live on the dole than work in a northern industry.
No, I wouldn't. I'd rather be producing something, you know, positive and valuable and making a, you know...
No, you give me a can of Stella and a fag, and I'll put my feet up and watch Jeremy Kyle with the best of them.
And what forms are you? An UB40, isn't it? UB40 every 2 weeks, and no, Gyro check it. I don't fancy that at all.
No.
You'd be mixing with hoodies in the park then, Nick, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want that. What shall we do today? I don't know. Let's go smash a few windows in. It sounds good, doesn't it? Oh, we're listening to a couple of bits of music from Puff Diddy. He's a sort of, there's a Ken Dodd and Diddy man as well, wasn't he? They come
Yeah, that's right. Ken Dodd, he works a lot with them. He's where they got their inspiration. Yeah, him and 50 Pence. Yeah.
Big baggy trousers and stuff like that. Anyway, getting back to entertainment. Tomorrow, this is what I want to know. Why is the England football team going to struggle against Israel and Russia in the next week to get qualification for the European Championship when they're all paid about £80,000 a week? And we won the World Cup in 1966 when Roger Hunt and who else was there? Gordon Banks and
all that lot. Yeah, the reason is because while they're able to play for their respective teams, who are populated with people with whom they don't share a language, then shouting on the pitch, they've got no idea what anybody's talking about anymore. It's like international. It's a knockout. But when they pull on the red or the white jersey of England, they are immediately turned into a team of donkeys. No one can figure it out. And it's not the manager's fault, it's the players' fault.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, so there can't be any correlation, therefore, between actual remuneration and performance, can there? Because the point I'm trying to make is what Jimmy Greaves, and who was the other guy, I can't remember what they're called, Martin Peters and Jeff Hurst and Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
They're all on 60 quid a week playing for England, and they play their hearts out in 1966 to bring home the trophy, the only time we ever done it. And now they're paid so much money, they probably need a private security band to take away the money at the end of the match.
But they're doing the business for their relative teams, their respective teams, otherwise they wouldn't be paid that much. It's just that when they pull the England shirt on, no one's got any idea how to play football anymore. But plus, when they march out on the field tomorrow and the camera pans along the team who are standing there to what could pass for attention while the national, that droning national anthem is being played, the Queen must be so sick of that tune. You'll look at their faces, and as one will think, who are these people? We've got no idea who any of them are, because everyone that we've heard of is injured.
Apart from Emil Heskey, that they brought back from...
Right. And perhaps Stevie G will make an appearance as well, but we very much suspect that it will be not enough. Anyway, Geoffrey, I'm past a break.
Okay, bye.
Thanks a lot, mate. No idea what that call was about, but it took a long time, so we ate up a lot of excellent minutes. It's 8:56, this is LBC.
Abbott. I'm listening, dear. You can talk to me.
Hello, Sarah.
What up?
What up?
Yeah, what up, man?
You know, I'm just...
Sorry, I was trying to be all hip and street, but
I'm just hanging.
Wicked, innit?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I'll talk normally now. Why are you being a wuss?
A wuss?
Yeah, why are you crying at everything?
I don't know, just a certain, I'm easily plucked.
I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful.
But you're about to be rude and disrespectful.
Yeah. Is that what happens when you get old? Because I've got a feel of getting old, and I'm a bit worried. What do you start?
No, I've always been like this. Just a bit of sad music. I used to well up at a coffee ad.
Why?
I can remember it well. I don't know, because it was just sad. I think it was...
I cried at My Girl.
My Girl?
And that was it.
What's that?
The film where Macaulay Culkin died from the bee sting.
Oh, don't tell us.
I'm sorry, he dies. And I cried at that, but that was when I was like 6.
Yeah.
And I don't honestly think I've cried at anything since.
Well, what a cosseted and lovely, lovely life you've led, Sarah.
I'm just wondering why it happens.
I really don't know. Some people are more readily emotional than others. Some people, like Chris, bottle it up, and then they'll grow a tumour the size of a football out the side of his head. Whereas Alex and I are fully realised and emotional human beings. Isn't that right, Alex? Correct. And we will, you know, it's in us, and as I mentioned before, if it's in you and it has to come out, just let it out.
Okay, but it isn't an age thing.
No, I've always been like this.
Oh, thank goodness. I really don't want to get old.
Well, it's going to happen to you, Sarah, unless you get really unlucky.
No, it's not.
Unless you get really unlucky. How old are you now?
22.
How many?
22.
22. Say it loudly and proudly. You're 22. You know what'll happen? You'll go to sleep, you'll wake up, and you'll be 47. And you won't have any idea where the intervening years went.
My mum said that.
Remember that. It is true. And when you are 47 and wondering how come you're nearer 50 than 30, and you'll be able to remember this show and note that, yet again, I'm quite correct.
Nick Abbott.
Okie dokie.
What was that?
I'm Carol McGiffin.
I'm Carol McGiffin.
I'm Carol McGiffin.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just found that on this randomly on this computer.
Oh, you just thought you'd play that in then, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Well, you've got like Tourette's in there.
I'm Carol McGiffin.
Right. Shut up, Carol.
Yeah.
Hey, hasn't the weather been a delight over the past week or so? It's been super. Yes,
that Indian summer.
Right. Yeah, it is. And I've been out there doing it because you never know when the last day of summer is going to be.
Doing what?
Gardening.
No, I haven't got a garden. So I went to Leeds Castle, which was lovely.
Really?
Leeds Castle, yeah.
What do you do when you get there?
You wander around Leeds Castle. Ridiculous question. Had tea on the terrace overlooking the castle with a moat around it with a balloon rising in the distance and
pretending you were in medieval times.
No, I don't believe it's actually a medieval castle. Most of it was made in the 19th century, just made to look old.
Right.
Oddly.
So it's a faux castle.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's always been a place there. But I don't think it has looked like that until, relatively recently.
It's a very civilised thing to do, go and see a castle.
Yeah, well, I like stuff like that.
Castles?
Castles are pretty much all the same, aren't they? I mean, I like them. They look good. and I like...
I like the notion of war.
Spiral staircases and hidden rooms and things. But they're all pretty much the same, aren't they?
Yes.
Inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I would rather go and see a stately home than a castle, because castles tend to be a bit dull on the inside. It's just tapestries and bits of crappy old wooden furniture. Whereas a stately home, if you go to Waddesdon, for instance, something like that, it is a constant feast for the eyes. Chris is looking at me like I've lost my mind. What do you want to do that for?
Well, I don't know. I think I'd have to see it to kind of get what.
Well, you'd only have to be interested in art. Does art interest you in any way? No, it's a big no. It's a great big fat no with cream on the top.
Art kind of angers me a little bit.
Art angers you?
What?
Well, just some of the stuff that's classed as it.
Some of the things that pass for art. You mean everything that Damien Hirst does, for instance?
Well,
and Tracy Emin.
Well, at least it's provoking a reaction, and that's what it's.
Yeah, it mostly provokes this reaction.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just you think, well, I could do that.
Yes. Well, you could.
I know.
Even
that's
you
what
could do
angers
that.
me.
Yes.
And these people get like millions of pounds for that.
Well, the last thing that Damien Hirst did, he had a show at the White Cube or in Hoxton, where everybody walks around with funny glasses and their jeans hanging around their bottom, despite the fact that they're far too old to be getting away with that. You know, like 30-year-olds going around on skateboards. People like that. Oh, they think they're so cool. But they had this thing in the White Cube Gallery. I think I'm right in saying he made £100 million from that show.
No.
All of which, I bet, was absolute rubbish. Here's the next Damien... I can do a Damien Hirst, I'll tell you. Okay, here it is. Let's see, what can I come up with?
I've got one.
Okay, take... you remember outside of the newsagents, there used to be a dog with a thing around its collar? a model of a dog with a thing around its collar, and you put money into the box around its neck.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was for Help the Blind.
Yeah.
Sure it was. Okay, make one of those, 100 foot high, and I'll call it the Ever-Knowing Oneness of Giving. Some rubbish title like that just makes you seem like you're deep. And that'll be £10 million, please. There you go, that's a genuine hearse.
I've got one. Look, I'm going to drop my pen on the desk, and I'm going to call it the Lonely Pen.
Oh,
there you are.
Rubbish.
Yeah, but it's better than yours. You see, that's what annoys me, because that, you know, this Lonely Pen could get me £5 million, you know?
But it's like you said before, it's all publicity.
Yeah,
it's just
PR.
Getting that one bit of publicity to start with, and then, you know, you're kind of made.
Exactly.
People go, ooh, what will be the next piece by, you know, Christian Mitchell? After his Lonely Pen, will it be the Lonely Kettle?
Well, the guy with the light that turns on. I mean, I thought that you were a fool for saying the pen thing, but you're quite right.
Exactly.
The guy with the light turning on and off won the Turner Prize.
And people go...
Which was actually a room with a light that turned turned on and off. That was it.
Students go and study art, and it's like, what is there to study? Because if anything can be classed as art, then surely... They have to study everything.
Art is so completely subjective. I don't get why people suddenly agree a piece is great. You know, is it just because they all want to feel that they're, you know, part of a, you know, some movement, and they're all thinking alike, and they're all going, yes.
Well, I think that the thing with modern art, and particularly the young British artist thing, which was started by Saatchi, he went and bought all these people like Tracy Emin and Ron Merck and Hearst and all of those people, the Chapman brothers and so on. I think it became less about art and more about speculation, about acquiring things that would increase in value that you could then sell at a profit, like people buy fine wine, or people buy antiques, or stocks, or houses, or whatever it might be. It didn't have anything to do with the art. They just saw, wow, these things are really, these things are increasing in value, way over the price of inflation. So we'll get into that.
So that's just business.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with actual art anymore. It is just business. That's quite correct. And the people with the best PR, as in any form of show business, are the people who are making all the best money. You know, Amy Winehouse and that Baby Shambles dope. I challenge you now, whistle a song by either of them. You can't do it. You can't turn the pages of a paper without seeing them in one form or another. Great PR.
That's all.
Same like Posh Spice. How do they know that she's going to go shopping in Bond Street? Why are the press always outside the shop at the right time? It's because a PR agency calls them up and says, "Here, Posh is going to go and shop for shoes. Why don't you go and stand outside? You get a great shot." I like these women on the beach. Every now and again, the Sun will say, "Oh, here is gorgeous hot totty, whatever her name might be, you know, a soap star, looking pneumatic and fabulous as she frolics in the surf." Well, you think the cameraman just happened to be there? Of course not.
A professional.
And it's in every paper.
Yeah, exactly. So they call them up and say, you know, she's been on a diet and she's been down to the gym for the last month. Just for this day, right here, and you'll be able to. And she's got the smallest, shortest, thinnest, lightest thing on that's ever been invented by humankind. Just go and position yourself behind the yellow line and take all the shots you like in a half hour between 2 and 2:30, and then everyone's a winner. All of those candid shots, they're all PR setups. Same when people are snapped by a pool in their, you know, in their. Bahama getaway, and they've rented an island or a whole you know, villa complex. And here's a shot that's slightly obscured by leaves because it was taken in the bushes. You know, it wasn't. It was. They invited them in, gave them a cup of tea, and said, "You go and stand over there, and I'll suck his toes."
Oh, did you have to mention that last part?
Can you bite your own toenails, by the way?
Yes.
Don't answer. Went ahead and answered it anyway.
Yeah, that is a good point, because well, on my beach holiday, I couldn't see any paparazzi.
Yeah. So
forgot to invite them.
So what did you do? You went to Greece. You went to Corfu.
Yeah.
And how was it?
Just I don't know, like a beach holiday, really.
Right. How did you get it? Did you like search it out on the net? Do a lot of research?
Oh yeah, it was all internet based.
Right.
So worked for me.
And how do you go about that sort of thing? You just punch in the dates that you're going to go and then just pick the first one because I imagine that you're the sort of person who just doesn't care where you go.
Not really. As long as it was hot and by a beach, that was the only criteria. And
as long as the hotel's been built.
Yeah, and you just you picked the first one because that's the cheapest.
Right.
And it was a package deal, so you kind of, when you get to the airport, you have to go and find your rep.
Yeah. And they'll take you to the hotel.
The rep will try and put you on the right coach, just go into the right part of the island.
No thought required, just like a holiday. Yeah.
You're looking at everybody else's hotel on the way, hoping that that's not yours.
Yeah, right. Huh. And so, was it a delight?
It was. It took a couple of days to get over the jet lag, because...
The jet lag?
Yes.
What? There's no jet lag.
Well, not jet lag. The fact that our flight left the UK at midnight, and so we didn't get there till 2 in the morning. And then we had to get on the coach.
Left at midnight?
Yeah, and then we had to get on the... Once we got there at 2 in the morning, we had to then get on the coach for another 2 hours.
Oh.
What was it? CIA rendition flight?
No, it's because that's what made it cheaper, is going at night.
Cheaper? Yeah, they should have been paying you.
Why? Do you pick... more expensive flights because they go at more convenient hours?
Of course.
Really?
That's why they're more expensive, I suppose, because everybody wants to go on... No one wants to fly at midnight. Who does? No one.
Well, it was quite packed, the plane was. You could save 50 quid for going at midnight.
Yeah, well, what's the point of that? You're going to spend 50 quid on your first round.
Well, there you are. At least you can buy a first round.
See, now, I do know what you mean. It is tempting to get a horrible... flights start at sort of 6:30 in the morning, which means you've got to get there by 4, which means you've got to get up by 2, and it's just a horrific way to start a holiday.
But our reasoning was that, OK, we're not going to be doing anything on this holiday, anything energetic. Right. We might as well be knackered.
Right, it doesn't matter that you have a terrible time and come back feeling like death. It's only a holiday.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You can recover from your holiday back at work.
Yeah.
It's 9:15. Here's Travel Now with Will Gowing.
Thanks very much, Euston Road.
Oh, whoops. I haven't got it faded up.
I want to show you something.
I specifically want to show you our How Low auction, which is running until 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. This is a good one. A 42-inch Samsung plasma TV and a surround sound system, so you'll be able to hear the explosions rumbling. They'll be able to hear them next door. Over the street, they'll be able to hear them.
Bang it on your wall.
Yeah, turn that racket down. It is... this looks great. It's designed for action-packed viewing. A massive Samsung plasma TV is crammed with features to create a true cinema experience right there in the squalor of your own lounge. Not only is it HD ready, but it's also got a built-in Freeview. It looks amazing, either turned on or off. It's black and glossy, and it swivels.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. And it's got wireless speakers. Is that a fact?
That's amazing.
Women will be very pleased with that, because the wires that snake all across your living room. Because if you've got speakers behind you, and then you've got a wire for the subwoofer, and then the front, and you've got the centre, and it's just like spaghetti junction all over the place.
Blokes will have cables running across the middle of the floor and not care.
I got cables that are about an inch across. If you lay them underneath a carpet, it'll look like you've got a snake problem.
Can't you buy little containers now that you can hold all the wires behind a TV or something? No. It kind of you feed the wires into this little box.
Right.
And it just keeps it all neat and tidy behind your TV.
Yeah, but if you've got a cable that's an inch across, it's not going to go into anything, is it? You can barely bend it. It's so stiff.
Probably not.
Like, it's an inch in diameter. They're huge.
Oh.
Obscene, really. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, it's the person with the lowest unique bid what wins our game. That is the lowest bid in pence that nobody else makes before the end of the auction. That is 2 p.m. this Sunday coming. Cutting-edge plasma TV, all the latest technology, putting it one step ahead of all the other sets on the market. You get HD ready, as I said. It plays your movies and your music. There's a handy USB connection. It'll even play music from your MP3 player. Groovy. It also got DTS. DTS, by the way, much better than Dolby, I think. It really brings the action right there in front of your face. DTS.
Yeah, that opens up everything with DTS. It does. You feel this, like the whole film open up the soundstage.
That's right.
Completely.
You can hear every rumble.
Men are really proud of their surround sound system, aren't they? That's. If you ever go around to a friend's house and they've just got, they're like, whoa, listen to this.
And then I'll put Terminator on at the bit where they you blow up police cars and so on.
Right. Is it got to be special speakers, or if you just plug a normal set of speakers in and put them behind you, does that class as surround sound?
No, of course it doesn't. Ridiculous, boy. Well, it depends. If you plug them into a surround sound amplifier, which can put the different channels in their respective places, then yes.
Right.
So you don't have to have a special speaker, because the decoder will send whatever is important to the different speaker. So was that your question?
Yeah, it might as well be.
That wasn't a completely ludicrous question. Well done.
Thank you.
So, your bids, please. LBC, text LBC plus your bid in pence to 88821. For example, if it was £2, you'd text LBC 200 to 88821. Lines close at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Bidders must be over 16. Bids cost £1.50 plus your standard network rate. See lbc.co.uk for full terms and conditions. I think specifically it's lbc.co.uk/competitions.
Orky/Dorky.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah. So the best of luck. That looks like a prize well worth winning and annoying your neighbours with forever and a day. Shall I take this one? What were you going to say?
I was just saying, those surround sounds aren't made for British homes, are they? I mean, if you've got a big detached house in America
with lots of grounds,
you can crank that up to your heart's content. It's not made for a bedsit in London.
No, definitely
your
not.
neighbours can hear every bodily sound you make.
Invite your neighbours round. They'd love to come and watch it.
Never make any noise that your neighbours can hear at all, because there was this thing just recently about noise and its effect on people's health. Even just the sound of slamming doors and you know, in houses and flats that are making these days, you can hear your neighbour breathe. The walls are so thin.
Well, that's the thing.
You're killing people by turning your music up. Stop turning your music up.
But every flat I've lived in London, I've just kind of expected there to be other noise.
Really, it just drives me out of my mind to hear other people. I can't stand it.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you find it a bit comforting as people around you?
No, not comforting, no. I'd much rather be... I'd like to buy the entire building, just to keep it empty.
Oh.
What you really want is the top floor of a building and the floor underneath.
Yeah.
And you keep the floor underneath, you put your washing machine and, you know, your boiler tank and so on. But you need that barrier between you and anybody else, and then they can make all the noise they want. I don't care.
Isn't that called a house?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah, a house.
You just need to get a house.
But then you know, the people next door, they'll install a pool and they'll have screaming kids splashing and shouting all the time. Then they've got their little yappy dogs. And, oh, what a nightmare. People, am I right?
Yeah, and cars.
Cars. You can't get away from it. Even in Leeds Castle, even as lovely and rural as it has seemed, you couldn't get away from the roar of the traffic.
It's just always
Always. They're really going to have to do something about that, you know? I mean, the combustion engine is ancient technology. That's 100 years old. We're still running on this... We're still using the same engine.
Well, because it's reliable.
Yeah, but can't they come up with something? We're way overdue for a revolution in power. I mean, we've had a revolution in everything else.
Would be very happy about that.
Well, they'll find some way to screw us over by, you know, restricting the supply of whatever it might be. That we'll have to go and juice up in their petrol stations.
Well, you can get those battery cars, can't you?
Yeah, but
they're silent.
Yeah.
I've been running on vegetable oil this summer. It's great. If I go to test, other supermarkets aren't available.
Yes.
A large supermarket.
To Sainsbury's, yeah.
Okay. And people look at me oddly as my trolley is filled with 3-litre bottles of vegetable oil. And they say, ooh, you must be doing a lot of cooking.
Well, you actually buy your petrol substitute in a supermarket?
Yeah, and then I go and pour it into the back of my car, in the car park.
I don't really know anything about this, and so it's, what do they call that? What kind of an engine do they call that?
Diesel.
Diesel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not the chrome bow, it's the other one I've got.
Good grief, how many cars have you got?
Just 2 at the moment.
Right.
And, yeah, because it's quite old, it runs quite happily on just vegetable oil.
How many miles to the gallon can you get on vegetable oil?
About 30, 35.
That's rubbish, isn't it?
No.
Well, how much does vegetable oil cost compared to petrol?
Well, a litre of diesel's about 95, 96p, and 3 litres of vegetable oil is about £1.30.
And do you have to modify your car in any way?
No.
But I've heard, though, you can't mix the two, so
No,
you have to let the diesel really drain out.
No, you
don't
do mix the two.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, that's the thing, because the vegetable oil can get too thick if it's too cold. So usually I run on a mix of the two.
So you got to top it up with a little bit of diesel once you put the vegetable oil in.
Usually about 50-50 is good.
Do you ever add balsamic vinegar?
No, sometimes white spirit to thin it out. But
Right.
it's great, it smells like chips.
Salt and pepper and a bit of mustard, honey.
Mushy peas.
Yeah.
It smells like chips. If you've got the windows down, you can just smell...
Can you use sunflower oil?
No, it has to be normal vegetable oil.
Right.
If that's... For some reason.
Well, that's the most extraordinary thing I've ever... Is this commonly known, that people can run their cars on vegetable oil?
It's only certain cars, and...
Trust you to have one.
It's it's quite well known in motoring circles, yeah.
Oh, God, you're not one of these people who spends his entire life on a chat room talking about... Wow, the dipstick that I had the other day, you wouldn't believe it. That's a yes, isn't it?
Occasionally, just if I want some information, maybe.
Has anybody got like a chrome leather window winder for a 1936 Mercedes?
So how do you find out if you can run your car on vegetable oil?
Yeah. Trial and error.
On those very same geeky forums, yeah, there's people who've been doing it for years and years, and you think, well, they've got the same car as me, so I might as well have a go.
Because this whole biofuels thing, that's a giant red herring, I think. That's probably a very, very bad thing indeed, because they're cutting down huge swathes of forest, which would otherwise be keeping us all alive, and making it a monoculture, such that all the indigenous life forms die out, just so that people can pour biofuels in their car. So stop buying biofuels.
Yeah.
Well, we really are sorting things out on this show, aren't we?
You see,
if only the people at home were making notes.
You mock Alex, yet he's saving more on fuel than you are.
Yeah, you're right.
And my car starts every week.
Every week, yeah, and it looks a lot better than mine. However, I will continue to mock you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. In fact, it's my pleasure.
We are gathered here today.
Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Hey, the Rugby World Cup is starting. That's going to be interesting.
Boring.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Really, really boring. Here's Burton on Trent. Hello, Aid.
Hello, Nick.
Aid.
Yeah, I had to call you tonight because you're just on about that diesel running on vegetable oil.
Yeah.
I've seen something on Fifth Gear. They had like old Mercedes, and apparently you're supposed to declare so much money to the government when you do that, but you still have to pay them tax.
All the colour is just drained out of Alex's face.
No, I'm way ahead of you, Aid, because they've changed the rules this year, and you've got an allowance basically now of a certain amount of money each year that you can spend on your fuel without having to pay any tax. So they're actually encouraging it.
Null and void.
Yeah.
Well, what does it belch out the back of your car then, if it's cooking oil?
I don't know, really.
The state smells like a chip shop, don't they?
Yeah. It's the lovely aroma of pies and chips.
I mean, this is why I've, because you can go on 12p jigs, so yeah, it's going to be cheaper and that. But if everybody switches it, then what are they going to do? They're going to screw you on that too, just
Yeah.
like they with petrol.
That's right. Mind you, well, now, do you mean the manufacturers or the government? Because the manufacturers don't appear to actually make that much money on a gallon of petrol at all.
No, because it's all, a lot of them are supermarkets now, aren't they? Everything's gone, the local things have gone to the wall. It wasn't making anything at all.
Mm. But it's the government that makes all the money on the petrol.
Yeah, isn't it? So, well, here's another shocking thing. It's something like 60% tax or something ridiculous.
I thought it was even more than that.
It may be.
But whatever it is, it's absolutely obscene. It is.
But, you know...
I mean, the days of getting in your car and just driving around for fun are long gone, unless you're a billionaire, you know.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I mean, well, I've been driving, 15 years? Not constantly, of course, but... and the price has doubled in that time.
Easily. Well, you know, the entire... Oh, God, my brain's just stopped.
Yeah, it's because we're having an intelligent conversation. That's unusual for me.
Yeah. The entire... oh, my God, I can't finish that sentence. The pleasure of driving... I'll just construct another sentence just to move the show along. Otherwise, we'll be stuck here forever. The whole pleasure of driving seems to have just been... just disappeared. That first of all, there's way too many cars on the road. Which is another thing about other people. There's way too many people. That's the problem with the planet. It's not that we're all belching out too much pollution or we're leaving our TVs on standby. There's just too many of us.
Yeah. There should be some sort of intelligence test for driving, shouldn't there?
There should be I thought you were going to say something quite prescient and say there should be an intelligence test before you get to reproduce your self. Yes.
Oh, that's never going to be something that worries me. But I've noticed, I mean, I'm lucky enough, I mean, I live in like a backwater place, so apart from Friday, Saturday and Sunday, it's early and it's normally fairly easy to go into work, so I just jump in the last minute.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's hanging in there by your fingernails, because soon it ain't going to be like that.
No, soon it'll be, everywhere will be like London, and where you virtually need to plan like you're going to invade a country just to go to work.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, when I get up tomorrow, it's happening already. It's going to be dark.
This is really, really depressing. When do the clocks go back?
The end of October, I think.
Oh, we've got a little while yet.
Yeah, but do they go back? Are we the only ones that do this stupid thing?
No, America does it. I think the rest of the continent do it. I think most people do it now. I find it very irritating. Every year we get the same thing. Oh, why are we doing this? It's only for Scotland. And moaning and complaining, but no one ever does anything about it. Let's stop doing it.
Because I realised the other day, I said I was going to New York and Vegas. I actually fly. It's when the clocks go back over like that night, so that's really going to screw with my mind.
Well, you'll arrive feeling like death anyway, so it won't really make much difference. Hey, by the way, did you enjoy the boat ride? Because we discussed this when you came to London. I told you, like I told everyone that comes to London, the only thing I can think of for them to do is to get on a boat at Embankment and go down to the Docklands. But you didn't tell me whether you actually enjoyed the experience.
Yeah, I did. I was thinking about it after I called you last week. I was a bit unappreciative with that. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for your suggestion.
Well, everyone should try it. Have you tried that yet, Alex?
No, I keep meaning to as well, and I live close to the dock. Well, I have been to that nice square, Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
But I want to do the boat trip from one end of the river to the other.
Well, as I said last week, take earplugs.
Because of the commentary, yeah. I think they only get the commentary going. They don't bother coming back because they assume that you've heard it once and will refuse to pay twice.
The funny thing was, when it parked up, and it was like I said, it was the last one. And they parked up sort of about 10 feet from where they dropped you off and left you there for half an hour, so you got the option either to walk round or sit on the boat.
Right, I don't really have any knowledge of that. I really don't know. Maybe just took against you.
Yeah, perhaps.
All right. Is that it?
Probably. I only called you tonight because of that diesel thing. You know,
right.
I'm saving myself.
For tomorrow?
Yeah.
Good man. All right. Keep your powder dry. Thanks a lot, Ade.
Okay, cheers.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Yeah, you're a criminal, Alex. Avoiding tax on your fuel.
No, I figure, you know, even if it wasn't legal now, I figure the police in London have got better things to do than...
Better, you mean?
Better. They do stop you in the rural areas, or they used to, for dip the tank, they call it, checking to see what you're using in your car.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a thing called red diesel as well, which agricultural vehicles use, and it's about half the price of normal diesel, so a lot of country folk are running their cars on red diesel.
Which is why they talk like that.
Yeah.
Is that because they use more of it, and so it's cheaper for them?
No, they just want to pay less.
Yeah.
And get away with it.
Well, what's red diesel then?
It's normal diesel, but it's got red dye added to it. And it's designed for agricultural vehicles, and there's either no tax or there's less tax on it to help farmers.
Right.
And country types.
Right. What, people like Prince Charles?
Yeah, basically. Right.
Who makes sure he gets absolutely all of the tax breaks that are coming his way from the European Union. Yeah. Well, good for him. You know, when you've only got a couple of $100 million to rub together, you've got to make sure that you get all the benefits, right?
Own half of the...
Look after the pennies.
Yeah. Make super jam, though. Oh, his jam is fantastic.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. Hey, I had a super lovely day in Hyde Park the other day as well. Went to Leeds Castle one day and Hyde Park the next.
Oh, I'm not a fan of Hyde Park, only because you can just hear the traffic. It's kind of...
Actually, I could hear less traffic in Hyde Park than I could in Leeds Castle. It's
really?
A bit bizarre, yeah.
That is amazing in London parks, though, because you pretty much all of them, you go, as soon as you go in, it just quietens that. So
the
it's just a
trees
low
suck
hush.
up the car noise.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, I guess it's just the ring of trees around the park.
Plus, I think by Leeds Castle, out in the countryside, cars are rushing by on the nearby motorway, thereby making a lot more noise than just cars stuck at the red lights in Hyde Park Corner. But they have this thing at the Serpentine Gallery. Every year they put up a new structure, what do they call it? A pavilion.
Pavilion. Right. Yeah.
With a giant room inside and some sort of tricksy architectural method of presenting it to you. And I'm really quite disappointed with myself that this is the first year I've ever gone there and taken a quick peek. But it's great. Everyone should go.
Really?
Yeah, it's very, very good. Yeah, it's a spiral. It's much like the a Helter Skelter from a fun fair of old, with a big room in the middle where they serve tea and cakes, which I announce are delicious.
Should you go and see it if you hate all art and it angers you?
Well, there's no art in there unless you count architecture as an art, which I do. But chocolate muffin is one of the best chocolate muffins I've ever had. The blueberry muffin, not so much.
And only £15.
Because it turned to lard in your mouth. You know when you bite a muffin and it just sort of turns to the consistency of lard in your
I don't
mouth?
like muffins.
But the chocolate one was, so yummy.
They're just too dry, I find.
No, this one was moist.
Yeah. Don't like them.
Go on, force yourself.
No.
Neasden. Hello, Simon.
Hello.
Simon.
You guys were talking about the price of oil.
Yes.
And it being very expensive. I know of a liquid that most of us have inside our homes that is much more expensive than oil, more expensive than liquid gold. What is it?
That most people have inside their homes that's more expensive than liquid gold.
Something as well as £300-400 a litre here.
£300 or £400 a litre.
Shall I let you off the hook?
No. I really want to guess. Would it be found in the kitchen?
No.
Not in the kitchen?
No.
Oh, it's perfume?
No. More expensive than, most perfumes anyway.
And it's not in the kitchen. Where else would you keep? Well, so it has to be.
Actually, might be about the same price as perfume. Probably more expensive.
So it have to be in the bathroom then?
No.
Not in the bathroom.
No, you'd electrocute yourself.
Booze?
No.
No.
You'd electrocute yourself. So it's got something to do with an electrical product.
Yes.
And it's... So, a liquid that's in an electrical product. That's not in the kitchen or the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'll give in.
Did you ask what it was?
Well, you've got any ideas, boys? You're looking very smug in there, or are you just not bothered?
Oh, well, it's kind of obvious.
Well, we're looking...
Shall I give you another clue?
We're looking smug because we already know it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because he told me, and I just told Alex.
Now, hang on, don't give me another clue yet. So, it's more expensive than liquid gold. It's in an electrical product.
Yep.
And it's not in the kitchen or the bathroom.
Yeah.
All right, hang on there. This is what you call a teaser. Isn't it exciting? Yeah. All right, hang on there. All right. I'll have to go away and come back. Okay.
All right.
It's 9:44 and a half. Here's Travel Now with Will Gowing.
Thank you very much. Euston Road still slow moving, heading westbound.
Light!
So, we're back at Simon, who is... apparently you're saying it's the most expensive liquid in the world. Is that right?
No, I'm not sure. Maybe Italian or something is more expensive. Probably not. But yeah, it's pretty damn expensive. Probably in the top 3 most expensive liquids in the world. And we all adults anyway, especially those who do business, will have it inside their homes or their offices.
Well, I want to say, and I don't know how silly this is, I might be making a complete fool of myself, but I want to say, is there a liquid as part of a liquid crystal display? Is that it?
That's ridiculous, and
I
no.
know. I didn't mean that. I just threw that out as, a comic aside. I don't know.
Liquid ink.
Liquid ink.
You spend like £35–40 for a tiny little droplet. No more than a couple tablespoons and a bunch of plastic.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, anyway, since I gave you that gem of information, I want to ask a question.
Go on.
And I really need an answer. Basically, I was asked today, and I sort of fobbed someone up with a silly answer, because I didn't really know the question, but I needed to pretend like I did. Why are there 7 days in a week? Why are there 12 months in a year? Why is there 52 weeks in a year? None of the numbers even remotely relate to each other, and none of them are accurate anyway, because you have to correct it all the time with hours going back and forth and having flipping leap years. Who came up with this system?
Yes.
What were they smoking?
I've thought about that as well, and why indeed are there 60 minutes in an hour? Why not 100? 60 is a very difficult figure to work with.
I mean, with feet and inches, it was apparently because of Henry VIII, because an inch is the size of his big toe and a foot is the size of his foot. He probably had size 12s. But the rest of it, there's no story, there's no history. Who knows? Why?
Yes.
Help me.
I can't.
It keeps me up at night. Please, just ask the audience.
All right, I'll ask the audience.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Simon.
Goodbye.
Cheers, mate. Printer ink. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Very annoying. I would never, if I'd sat here from... What was that?
Oh, it's the door. Alex just came through it.
Don't say a word.
That sounded like you blowing wind through your lips, Alex.
Like this.
Exactly.
That's the door. Soundproof door.
When he said, Simon phoned up and said the most expensive liquid in the world, I immediately thought of the liquid displays.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. Liquid crystal displays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not completely foolish. Is there actually liquid in there?
A little bit.
You're guessing now.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't call it a liquid crystal display if there wasn't liquid in there,
exactly.
Would they?
But it can't be much to make, little numbers and letters, can it?
Well, I don't have any idea how it would do that. How does liquid do that?
Alex? Probably sandwiched between two...
Oh, you've got no idea.
Really
Shut up.
Things and stuff.
Oh, then you pass an electrical current through it. Yes, there it is, explained. Here is Catford. Hello, Trixie.
Hello.
Trixie.
Hello, I'm depressed. Cheer me.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh.
What's the matter with you?
I'm just depressed. I don't know. I woke up depressed. I guess, seriously, my birthday is next week, and I'm kind of like...
really? No one cares.
No, I know you don't. That's that's great, yeah. No, I feel depressed. I've been dreaming depressed as well. It's not nice.
There's a song go over and over in your mind sounding like...
No.
No?
No.
How about this one? Ringing any bells?
No. It's more, suicide is painless.
Oh, dear. How about this one?
Unhappy, very unhappy, very, 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 very unhappy.
No?
No, because unhappiness, there's some sort of feeling there. I just feel depressed. That's when there's no feeling there. And, not nice, my dear.
Well, I'll tell you what you can do, Trixie, and this actually works.
It actually works. Go on.
Arrange your face into a smile.
Oh, yes, I've done that. I've done that, yes.
Do it.
Yes.
Do it.
Yes.
Now, don't you feel better?
No.
Well, you're not doing it. See, now you're laughing.
I am doing it. I can see myself in a mirror.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it. But
well, no, don't see yourself in a mirror, because you'll get the feedback that you don't actually mean it.
Right, okay.
You see, you have to, when you put your mouth into the shape of a smile, then your brain thinks, ooh, I'm smiling.
Well, no, it doesn't.
I must be feeling happy.
No, it doesn't. Not in my case. Sadly.
Well, you know what? I think that it's a chemical reaction that's going on in your brain. And it will change with, every passing hour. It's just a chemical reaction. It's not that you're particularly... nothing's happened, right?
I've got bipolar.
Right, what do you mean?
Well, I've got bipolar, so I'm actually depressed at the moment.
Right. So it is a kind of a chemical reaction, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm in a downer at the moment, which is not nice. No, I thought I'd ring up and see if you could cheer me up, but thank you. It kind of helped a little bit.
Well, I tried with the smiling thing.
You did.
And also making you think that it's not that you're actually depressed about anything.
No,
it's just the way the chemicals are running around in your body right now.
I'll tell you what I did want to say. I was trying to bring up with something. I discovered the English Pravda online.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you're aware of it.
No.
Well, it's Pravda translated into English.
Yeah.
It's got some fabulous little stories.
Well, all the latest on the potato crop, that sort of thing.
No. You can actually go back into their files about life after death and cloning and things, and women hide their wisdom beneath stupidity. I thought you'd like that one. It's actually quite interesting.
Huh.
So I suggest you have a little look at that, because some of the back articles, the way they've written them, have quite an interesting slant on the things that have been in the papers in this country.
Pravda, what's their slogan? Fair and balanced?
I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
Well, it's Fox TV in the States, Rupert Murdoch's version of Sky TV in America.
Yeah.
Their slogan is fair and balanced, which, if you see it for more than about 5 minutes, you'll realise is the least fair and balanced TV station this side of, the Iron Curtain.
Yes. Well, anyway, it's interesting, so have a little look at it.
I'll take a peek, Trixie.
Do that, my dear.
And remember, if you're feeling down, you always remember one thing.
Always look on
No. I hate that song. I hate that song. Stop whistling. You cannot, Trixie, you cannot say happiness without saying penis. Remember that, okay?
I haven't got any of that either.
Well, I think there we've got to the root of it. Thanks a lot, my dear. Ta-ta. Chin up, always, okay? It's 9:55.
I'm an accident waiting to happen.
Not a moment too soon. When do we start? Tonight. Good. I'd like to get in, get on with it, get it over with, and get out. Get it? Got it. Good.
Hackney, Ochima.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great, mate. What's up?
I want to say what the most expensive liquid in the world is, I think.
The most expensive liquid in the world.
I think it's scorpion venom.
Why would that be expensive?
I'm not sure. I saw it in the newspaper, and the only reason I remembered it because it was more expensive than gold, which I would have expected.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that gets Keith Richards off his head anymore. I'm on about 3 pints of scorpion poison a day now, man.
Oh, can I tell you one more thing?
Yes.
France have just lost.
Have they really?
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
Argentina.
Right. That's a bad start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for the good news, Chima.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to be having this for the next month now, aren't we? The Steroid Cup.
Yeah.
Seriously, those guys don't ordinarily come that size. If he looks like he's on steroids, he's on steroids. Am I right?
Isn't it just their natural build?
No. No one looks like that. Yeah, a few of them just do look like they've eaten a lot and they've gone to the gym. Others look like they're a whole different race. Like they've got so many and so many muscles, and they're so striated. They're so you can see every fibre of every muscle, and they've got an ounce of fat on them, and you can even see the muscles in their face. I've seen that before, and that's really weird. They're on steroids. If it looks like they're on steroids, they're on steroids.
It doesn't look like muscle to me. It just looks like fat.
Right, well, some of them are like that. Some of them are just big,
yeah.
Whereas others are ridiculously like they've look like some sort of mutant.
But some people do have that natural build, I think, and
yeah,
those people choose to play
rugby. Oh,
yeah.
Is that what it is? Right.
Yes.
Must be, yeah.
Well, I think if you look at the New Zealand players, a lot of the that Maori type, they're built like they are naturally built.
Yeah, but there's a roundness to them, whereas people who are on steroids are all angles.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. They're definitely more organic than the ones.
Yes, that's right. And you can tell them a mile away. You can tell people on steroids a mile away. You can instantly see that someone is or isn't. Of course, the test will come back negative because the science to cover up the fact that you're taking steroids is advancing much faster than the science to detect whether you're taking them, because that's where all the money is. But yeah, we're going to have the Rugby World Cup for the next month or so.
Boring.
Will the excitement never start?
You're not a fan then?
Or it's the wrong shaped ball. They're picking it up and throwing it. What the hell's going on there?
The rules don't make any sense.
I know. The goal is way too high. How could and they don't even have a goalkeeper? How's he expected to save the ball when you need a ladder to get up there? What a silly game. Hey, the Psychic Show's on next, but you knew I was going to say that, didn't you?
On 97.3 DAB.